her role in the financial sector as well. So she has a lot of experience, more than 3 decades of experience in the financial sector. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ms. Carly McCarthy, one of
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on, how are you feeling this morning?
Woo! Great, great.
All right, so we're here today. This is not just a workshop. It is a change, a life experience. So we have here Mr. Gordon Clark. He's here in Jamaica to change our lives. And not just to change, but to impact. We'll be learning a skill that no one can take away from you. This skill can help each families to be self-sufficient. And we're all about impacting and changing that. Come on, wouldn't you want to see a better Jamaica? And that's why we're here today. Each of you are doors and seeds. Once the seed is planted, it's time for us to go out and change the world. So with no further ado, I'd like to welcome to the podium Mr. Gordon Clark. He's a father of 2 beautiful daughters. He plays at least 9 instruments. He's a marine, he's an educator, a mindset coach, and someone who loves families, someone who wants to see impact, and that's why he's here in Jamaica. So let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Gordon Clark II.
First and foremost, thank y'all for having me. Some of you guys I've seen before. All right, welcome back. All right, we're gonna get right into it now. Normally I show like a little short video or whatever, but we're in an intimate setting and we're a little bit behind schedule, so we're gonna pick that up a little bit. Hopefully everybody has something to take notes with. And I'm gonna tell you right now as we get started, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna focus on mindset, because one of the biggest things when it comes to trading, investing, or anything in your life is having a proper mindset. And so I will give you this. How many people are seeing people from where I'm from, America, so they have like things like lottery tickets, right? Yeah. And they'll win the lottery, and the next month they're still broke. All right? Because it was never the money that made them rich. It was the mindset that kept them poor. And so I'm gonna tell you, like even with me, I was in the music industry before. And I made my first $1 million there. Like before I made my first $1 million in the music industry. And I went broke again. You know what I was doing? How many people heard these sayings? Never forget where you come from. Y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
And so the thing that I focused on as I started growing was what you pay attention to, and you're going to see me go into that. What you focus on, you draw into your life. And so you ever seen somebody focus on all the problems in their life, and they're always complaining, and they're always doing this? Well, they couldn't even see the blessings around them, simply because they were focused on everything that was going wrong in their life. Okay? And so that's why when it rains, it pours. It's literally because you're focused on the rain. But that does not mean that there's not bright sunshine above those clouds. And so what happened with me, I had a whole bunch of friends. They didn't want to leave the hood. They didn't want to have anything better. But they was like, hey, yeah, you're doing a great job, man, and blah, 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 blah. Don't forget where you came from. Look out for your homies. And so what do y'all think I did with a lot of my money? Okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. Now, to me, I'm helping them, right? I'm giving them money. But did I change their mindset? No. And so I gave them all of this money. And when I ran out, you know what? Those same people that was like cheering me on was like, yeah, I knew I was going to humble you. It's like, what part of humble? Like, where did I not be humble? I was never bragging. A lot of people didn't even know I had made $1 million except for my close circle that was around me. Right? And so I say that to say, we're going to start off with mindset first. Because I see so many people talk about getting you more money, but they used to getting you more money as a sales pitch. Okay? But if you don't get the proper mindset, you're not going to keep the money. And the whole goal right now is to keep the money, because you're going to see making the money is the easiest part. Alright, I've said this a lot. I said making millionaires is the easiest part that I do a day. Making people believe that they can actually be a millionaire is the hardest part. And the reason that is because of the environment. Alright? Y'all ever heard the phrase, I'm a product of my environment? Yes. We've all heard that. And we use that as an excuse until we realize you have the ability to create your environment. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. So I'm not going to show the video because we're behind schedule, but I am going to go ahead and sit down because we're going to be a little intimate today. But I do, even though we're going to be intimate, I want you to hold the questions until the end of the session, okay? So we can stay on schedule. Now, again, my name is Gordon Parker from Mobile, Alabama, United States of America. I'm a master Forex educator. I'm a mindset coach. All right? I've made millionaires in over 129 countries now. All right? It's not going to stop because I came to Jamaica. All right? We're going to keep that going. The thing about that is, ladies and gentlemen, is the only thing I ask of you is to do what I talk about, which is real wealth. Real wealth is you creating value for somebody other than yourself. Let me show you what I mean by that. And what's your name, King?
Ricardo.
Huh?
Ricardo.
Ricardo. Now, I like your shirt, by the way. But I always say this, man. The last thing that you spend money on, right? It could have been gas, it could have been clothes, food, right? You agree with that? We spend money on things. Well, we spend money on things that are of value to us. So if we take that lesson under a microscope, money flows where value comes from. And so a lot of people want money to flow to them because we think the money is the answer. But actually, right, we want that money to flow to us, but we're not willing to let value flow from us. Y'all ever think about that? Ask if they had any, hey, how you doing, Queen? So they'll tell you not to do this and not to help people to look out for yourself. No. That is not how wealth is created. I want y'all to understand something. How many people think, and let's be real about this, how many think that God is capable of everything?
Yes.
Right? So you think that if he blesses you, he don't have enough blessings to bless everybody else? Does that make sense? So you're going to sit up and say, oh, but don't let nobody else know about what you got going on because they're going to take it from you. If you let it. Because what God has for you is for who? You. Right? And so, write this down. A candle does not lose its flame by lighting another candle. Right? Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
A candle does not light its flame by lighting another candle. And so, you're going to start seeing that when you get into the mindset of this, looking out for your next person, your fellow man, helping them out, you're going to start seeing stuff flow towards you because you shifted the energy around you. See, social media will tell you to match energy. Right? I don't match energy, I create it. And I want you to understand the power of that statement. Because if you're matching energy, how many people believe karma is real? Right? So if karma is real, and somebody did you dirty, and now you're going to match that energy, they already got karma, so you just match their karma too. Does that make sense, everybody? And so that is why we're going to start off where we're at today. Now, let's talk about why this works, okay? Everything is made out of energy, okay? Hopefully everybody can see that on the screen. But it's made out of energy, okay? Now, we know what atoms are. You know, we have the electrons, protons, neutrons. You know, those are called subatomic particles. You break it down further than that, it's quarks. You break it down further than that to the smallest part of an atom, the last thing you have is an energy vortex. So that means, right, that simply means that everything is energy. All right, does that make sense, everybody? That makes sense, everybody say energy. Oh, that ain't no easy at all. Energy.
Energy.
All right,
Energy.
okay. All right, we're going to say this again. Like, I want you to match it with the same amount of money, of energy that you want to see in your bank account.
Energy!
They would say, man, I don't need no money in my bank account. All right, so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. How am I over here sitting down talking? I'm loud and all y'all to go. All right, so the whole thing is this. I want you to understand that if you know that everything is made out of energy, if I touch this, I know it's made out of energy. I know this fan is made out of energy. I know this water is made out of energy. Anything I can see, touch, smell, anything that I can perceive is made out of energy. Then that would mean if I understood the laws of energy, wouldn't I understand the laws of this universe? How things work? All right? It's all going off of that. And so what I want you to notice is this. Energy has something called a charge. There's a negative charge and there's a what? Positive charge. That fact is called the law of polarity. All right? There's always an opposing force. There can't be a left without a what? There can't be an up without a what?
Down.
Alright, there can't be an inside without a
Outside.
that makes sense, everybody? So for every obstacle, there's an opportunity. And the reason that that's such a big thing is because when you start focusing on everything in your life, anybody ever pray to God that you have something better, if you want it more, like God, can you get rid of this stress, or God, I want a better life, or God, I want a job opportunity. Anytime that you've had that prayer, you're asking for something different. I want you to understand something. They say if you want something different, you got to do something different, right? Well, if it's different, automatically that means it's going to be uncomfortable. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It's different, so it's uncomfortable. Why is it uncomfortable? Because it's not something that you normally do. And so a lot of us want different results while staying the same person. That's virtually impossible. That makes sense? I want to stay the same person that I am, but I want different results. Make it make sense. Alright? I have a big belly. If I want to get my six-pack back, I got to get on the same schedule that I was when I was in the Marine Corps. Waking up early in the morning, working out. Eating different. Alright? There's a certain type of habit that I have to develop to get the result. And so a lot of times people think that they can pay their way into a result. Alright? I remember I saw a person that was given a position at a company, and they lost it. You know why? Because they never went through the process of earning that position. So they didn't know how to maintain it. Now, I want y'all to take that into consideration. That is the whole reason that you have a thing called trials and tribulations. Because the moment you say, God, I want something different, now you're saying, God, I want a difference in my life. So he's going to say, what? Well, now I have to condition you to maintain what it is that you asked for. Does that make sense? So now you're going to start going through trials and tribulations. You're going to have the friend that betrays you. You're going to have the people that start talking about you. You're going to have the financial issues. You may even start having health issues. Your girlfriend going to start tripping. Your boyfriend going to start doing whatever. All of this stuff starts happening. Y'all know what's really happening? God is getting rid of all of those distractions. And what do? We focus on the distraction. Hold on. How about you focus on what it is that you asked for and let me remove this stuff, this clutter out of your life? Does that make sense? Why? Because what you focus on, you draw to. This is how energy works. Alright? So, let me put this on the screen real quick. Hopefully everybody can see it.
Did you ever wonder if there's anything more to the human than this physical body that we have? Well, it's real interesting because if we go back in history, they talk about something called spirit, an energy, an invisible force that seems to be controlling who and what we really are. Quantum physics emphasizes that the universe is not really split into two realms, a material realm and an energetic realm. Quantum physics reveals that everything is made out of energy. What we perceive as matter is actually an illusion of energy and light, that there is nothing physical. Well, what do you mean? I said, well, first of all, a very simple fact. When physicists started to take the atom apart and find there were things inside such as protons, neutrons, and electrons, then they say, yeah, but what are those things made out of? Then they got down to smaller things like quarks, and I said, yeah, but what were they made out of? And ultimately what physicists recognized was at the fundamental core of an atom, there is nothing material at all. It's an energy vortex. It's a powerful energy field. And that all atoms are these energy fields. And the significance about that is, well, atoms make up humans. And so by definition, we perceive ourselves as physical structures, but according to quantum physics, we're energy vortices. Imagine a cell as a television set, and that the environmental signal, like a broadcast, is being picked up by the antennas on that television set. And therefore, the cell responds to that broadcast. Well, guess what? Everyone has a different set of antennas, so by definition, everyone is receiving a different broadcast field. That's what physicists refer to as the energy in which we live. So all of us are in a field, but each one of us actually receives a very precise and specific part of that field different than everybody else. No two people share the same self-receptors. That's why we just can't exchange cells, organs, and tissues with each other. Now comes an interesting part. If the cell is like a television receiving a broadcast, then consider this. What happens if you're watching your TV and it breaks? We say the TV's dead. I go, yeah. But now the question is this. Yes, the TV just died, but is the broadcast still there that I was watching? The answer, of course, it's still there. The television's gone. The broadcast is present. I say, how would you know? Well, one way of knowing, get another TV set, plug it in, turn it on, and tune it to the right station, and the show is back on air. Well, this would apply directly to humans as well. I have an identity due to a set of receptors receiving an environmental signal. If I die, I have no more reception, and therefore my broadcast exists, but there's no TV to express it. If an embryo shows up in the future with the same set of self-receptors that I have, well then guess what? I'm back online in a different TV. Does it have to be a male or female TV? Nope, that's the TV. Well, how about, is it black, white, brown, red, yellow? No, that's the TV. That's not who you are. You are the broadcast. Lastly, it's important to note that the character that you express in this life is actually sent back to your source, because your brain is not keeping your consciousness in your head, because magnetoencephalographs, unlike electroencephalographs, magnetoencephalographs read your brain function, but the probes don't even touch your head. There's a very important concept right here. Your thoughts are not contained in your head. They're broadcast into the field. And as Einstein emphasized, the field is the sole governing agency of the particle, matter. And then we put all of this together and it says, your biology is an expression of this matter, but it's actually shaped by the field, a field that exists whether you're here or not. And then all of a sudden, the ancient story of spirituality now conforms to the modern day science of quantum physics. You're a field, you're a spirit, you're more than this. And when you understand that, it is the first step towards your personal empowerment.
All right, did everybody catch that? All right, so when he talked about your thoughts are even contained inside of your head, they're broadcast out to the field. It's important. How many people know what the field is?
The energy field?
It's reality. You went up on my pipe. All right. Let me get myself together. All right. So it's reality. So basically what he's saying is your thoughts shape your reality. So I want everybody, when you get a chance, we don't have time to do it today, but when you go home today, go on YouTube and look up a video called the double slit experiment. Double slit experiment. So when he was talking about everything is energy, the double slit experiment proved that everything is light. Light. All right? And when you focus on it, it literally breaks out into the reality that you see right now, the table and all of that. But when you don't focus on it, it's light. Now, where's the proof of that? If you look on the screen, this was in 2015. This is the first time they was able to actually capture light breaking down into reality. So when you're not looking at something, it's literally a blast of light. And the moment that you look at it, light collapses down into matter. All right? So your reality is perceived. How many people understand that you don't really see anything? Your brain takes the information and tells the eyes what it sees. But guess what? Same thing when it comes to your taste. Same thing when it comes to your feeling. You're not even really here. You're sensing this world, but you're not in it. So y'all know what that would actually prove? That all of us are getting the same signal from a different perspective. Literally, that proves God. You're getting the same download. All right? So, this is how they were able to see this. This is called Kirlian photography. So Curlian photography allows them to see you in your light form. Now, how many people notices that the apple has way more energy in it than a slice of meat? So y'all ever ate something that got what we call the itis, ready to go to bed?
Oh my God, yeah.
Right? Well, we can see it now. There's literally no energy in it. But what about the life of an apple? So when you eat fruit and vegetables, anybody ever ate fruit and vegetables and you feel refreshed and you felt light and energetic? But then when you ate that heavy meal, what did you want to go do? Go to sleep. All right? So when you start looking at stuff from energy field, then you start seeing life completely different. Now, I want you to look at this picture of a man here. So what they were able to prove is when you start thinking differently, right, your body changes frequencies. And you literally change colors like a mood ring. But it's not the colors that's the thing with that. This is what's proved the law of attraction. We've always talked about the law of attraction. You're like an antenna. So if I'm thinking negative, I'm literally on the frequency of negativity and I'm drawing those things to me. Alright? So this is why it's so important that now scientists also concluded that the average human body contains approximately 37.5 trillion cells. And each cell generates 0.07 volts of electricity. So if you take that 0.07 and times it by those 37.5 trillion cells, that means that each one of you has a minimum of 2.63 trillion volts inside the human body. You are literally walking energy. Does that make sense, everybody? So I'm breaking all that down to tell you that since you have that much energy, it's the reason that you have something called a magnetic field around you. They call it the Taurus energy field. So if you look it up, it's T-O-R-U-S. It looks just like this. Now y'all probably seen this everywhere. Anybody ever seen the pictures of the Earth's magnetic field?
Yes.
All right. Well, guess what? It's in everything in this universe because everything in this universe is made out of energy and thus has its own field. So when you walk in a room, whatever frequency that you're on, y'all ever walked in a room and just felt a bad vibe and was like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. All right. This is your intuition. But guess where that comes from? All right. That comes from your Taurus energy field. It extends 4 to 6 feet away from you. So when you walk in, you're interacting with everybody else's energy. They ain't got to say nothing. And you're like, this person's not compatible with me. All right? So this is one of those purposes. You have 5 physical senses. How many people know that you got spiritual senses too?
Yes.
All right? So that's where your intuition comes from. Fellas, you hear women talk about this all the time. A woman's intuition. I know he cheated. Right? I know he's doing something he got no business. You're like, okay. All right. Our mother's intuition. You know when the kids are up to something. Something ain't feeling right.
They're quiet.
Yeah. All right. So you have intuitions too. All right. So these are things. This is how the body actually works. Now, this is the most fundamental shape of the universe. Y'all see it. You'll notice that there's left and right, north and south. Right. Polarity. You see this in the galactic plane. You see this in your cells. See it in you. Even a tree, everybody sees the branches. How many people knew that the roots look just like the branches? It's just that they're underground, but they're like this. So anybody heard this phrase, as above, so below. All right? It is the same, whether you're looking at it at the large scale, all the way down to the smallest atom. They go on the same principle. Now, I'm going to say this last thing, and we're going to get into the trading aspect. We're going to take a quick break. But when it comes to you. All right, how many people believe that God took his time when he made you?
Yeah.
Right? You are divinely created. So let's talk about that real quick. Your blood has exactly 1 molecule of iron. Just one. That molecule allows the blood to fuse oxygen to it. So the blood cell can carry oxygen to the organs of your body. Can we agree that that's an important thing to have?
Yeah.
All right? Our ability to breathe is because of 1 molecule of iron that allows us to fuse oxygen so it can feed oxygen to your body. Well, what's the significance of that? When this universe started, we didn't have iron in it. It literally took galaxies to crash into each other. It took stars to explode. And all of this to happen just for you to even have iron in this universe, just so you can get oxygen to your body. Does that make sense? So when they say God took his time making you, he did. He took his time to even give you the ability to breathe. So when I say that you have a breakthrough, because everybody always prays for a breakthrough. We're going to get into this. When you have a breakthrough, that means that you're going through something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's no way for you to have a breakthrough without you going through trials and tribulations, without you getting through something. So what you resist persists, what you embrace gives grace. So what I'm saying with that is you have to put yourself in a position to say, you know what, these things are happening, but not necessarily happening to me. Write this down. Nothing truly happens to you, it happens for you. So remember when we talked about when you're going through things, but really God is just moving stuff out of your life. Alright? He's clearing the path so you can get to what it is that you want. And if you stop feeling sorry for yourself for just a little bit and say, hey, hold on, what is my goal? What is my goal? Well, my goal is this. This is what I wrote down. Right? My goal is this thing that I wrote down. So, we'll put this on the screen here. If we look right here at the definition of future, I want y'all to look at that real quick. So we see the definition of future. Now in the Bible, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 through 3. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 through 3 says, write down the vision and make it plain. For he that seeth it may run, it is for an appointed time, it will come to pass, it will not lie. Though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come, and it will not lie. Let me ask y'all a question. Did God say that it may happen, or did he say that it will surely happen?
It will surely happen.
It will surely happen. So if you wrote it down and just waited for it, all you have to wait. What he said is if you speak it or you write it down, all you got to do is wait. Because it's going to happen. Now, why would he say that? Well, let's look at the definition of future. How many people see it on the screen? Future says, the definition, it is a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. Y'all think that's a coincidence?
No.
So the moment that you speak it or write it down, it has to happen. It becomes your future by definition. It even says time is regarded as still to come. Meaning, wait. Right? So what do we end up doing? We'll write it down, but the moment we get a little bit of conflict, we start focusing and speaking on the conflict and start focusing on the goal. So did we wait? No, we didn't. We start speaking our demise instead of speaking our blessing. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
And so the reason I spend so much time on that, because most people focus on this part. Let's look at the past. What does the past say? It is gone by in time, no longer existing. So does the past even exist?
Nope.
No. Are you the same person you were last week?
Nope.
Are you the same person you were last year? No. All right? Well, what does it also say? The time before the moment of speaking or writing. That means your past doesn't even exist until you speak it into your future. All right? So the reason we're starting off right here, ladies and gentlemen, is because if you understand the power of your words first, because what y'all about to do is learn something that you haven't done before. And what you're also about to do is start taking on a whole different trial and tribulation. It is a process. Most people tell you about investing and trading, and they'll tell you that it's going to be like that. Is there anything in your life that you got like that? No. All right? So a lot of times when they tell you that, it's a scam. So there are two types of factors. They're called contributing factors, which are external, and you have determining factors. So an example of a contributing factor is racism. Yes, it's a factor. We've all faced racism. Some of us have faced sexism. Right? We face that. But can it stop you? It can delay, but can it stop you? How many people know somebody that overcame racism? I think a lot of us do. We got a lot of them on the wall. How many people know somebody that overcame sexism? Because they understood that it was a contributing factor, which is external. But the determining factor is internal. What do you believe you can do? Okay? So, Proverbs 21:5 tells you, tend only to the thoughts of plenteousness. Right? Now I want y'all to pay attention to this phrase right here. Because why would God tell you to tend only to thoughts of plenteousness? He knows how he created you, right? Now, remember we just talked about future, the moment of speaking or writing. I said, well, why would we say that? Because in Genesis, how many people remember that God gave you dominion?
Yep.
Dominion means what? Authority. So that means that your words are commands. Now this starts to make sense, doesn't it? So if he gave you dominion, and dominion means authority, so your words are commands, then you cannot afford to speak negative. You can't afford to speak or even think negative. And that's why in Proverbs 21:5, he reminds you of this again. Tend only to thoughts of plenteousness. Everything has a good and a bad side, right? One that serves you, one not. When is the last time you looked at something that had two possible outcomes, but you only allowed yourself to tend only, that word only means a lot, only to plenteousness, right? The one that serves you, the one that you feed, right? So, we don't see things as they are, we see them how we are. So when you come into like even a meeting like this, you're gonna have some people that came in skeptical. You're gonna have some people that came in optimistic. They're gonna have the same information. One person's gonna be like, man. Another person's gonna be like, this is what I was missing. Why is that? Because that's more of how you are on the inside. Anybody ever had somebody that couldn't see the value in you?
Yep.
Y'all ever? The dating world's scary. Right, you go out in the dating world, you be like, man, I know I'm a good person. You know, I did this, I'm nice and caring. But the other person couldn't see nothing but what they already saw in themselves. But they projected it on you. Ah, you're a narcissist. You only care about yourself. No. Oh, well, I saw that you were struggling. I was trying to see that, I was going to try to help you with this bill. You can't buy me. Huh? Trying to help. Alright? How do you see yourself? You're going to see it project. So now that you know this, here's the thing. If you start seeing the world, from a negative space, you got to start taking a look at self. And like, why do I see this world negative? Because most people will tell you this. Well, you know, I just went through a lot of trauma. Who hasn't? I've had bad stuff happen to me. Who hasn't? Here's the thing about that. Because the world will tell you a lot of things, and we will weaponize empowerment to avoid accountability. Did y'all ever notice that even when Adam and Eve did what they did, when they were punished, he didn't say, Adam, Eve did this, so I'm going to make you pay for it. No, he specifically punished him for what he did. And he specifically punished Eve for what she did. Does that make sense? So, when it comes to your judgment, who do you have to pay for? Are y'all going to have to pay for what Denise does? No. Are y'all going to have to pay for what Victor does? No. So the only person that you have to give an account for is who? You. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah. And so, if you start seeing the world from a negative space, you got to start looking at, hey, what have I allowed myself to believe? Because this is going after what you call your core belief system. All right? So we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. And if we're in a negative space, an easy way to know we're in a negative space is if we see everything from a negative space. That's a good gauge right there. Alright? So, this is why Proverbs 13:12 it says, a man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of his transgression shall eat violence. Alright? What you speak. Alright, most people don't use their mouth except for things that, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Well, you just affirm it. Okay? So, we have to become aware of the faculties of our mind before we even start trading, before we start making money, before we can impact anybody else. We have to become more aware of the faculties of our mind, the faculties of our mouth, and the factory of our methods. Alright? Once we've mastered those three things, that's when we're going to start seeing our fruits grow. How many people understand now already that I'm talking about way more than trading right now?
Yep.
Right? But I'm going to tell y'all something. Trading is a tool. So this is the tool that I'm going to share with you guys to help make you rich. That's one thing. But what I'm teaching you before we even get into that is what's going to keep you rich. I think this is way more important than anything that I can show you on these charts that I'm about to show you. Okay? Way more important. And a lot of times people feel like, I don't need this. I'm a good person already. I don't need this. Man, oh, I'm going to go to sleep with that. I didn't come here to get lectured. I want to learn how to make money. Trust me, this is where you make the money. Okay? This is where you make the money. Okay? You're going to watch your fruits grow. So, life will pay you in a direct proportion to the level of value that you create. You don't create value for yourself. Who do you create it for? Others. Right? So how much value are you creating for others? We're going to talk about that. That wealth is spiritual. We're going to talk about this in just a second here. We're going to talk about the 4 levels of value, and then we're going to take a quick break. Because I know I've talked a lot, and I want you to take a break. All right? But I'm going to leave the floor open for any questions on this portion first. Okay? 4 levels of value. The first level is called implementation. This is the lowest level of value. This is where you work. This is where you use your muscle. Y'all ever see people have a job? Anybody have a job? All right? You have a job. What are you doing? You're working on an hourly wage or a salary, right? You're using your muscles multiplied by time. And you're going to find that wealthy people don't even look at money on this concept. It's the poor people that start looking at money as time. It also affects how you look at what you buy. Because you're going to start looking at what you buy off of, man, it's going to take you X amount of hours to make this amount of money. Because you still think that money is generated from this level. Alright? Implementation. Write this down. One of the biggest setbacks holding us back in this age is our addiction to hard labor as our primary source of income. Okay?
I have a question.
End of the class.
Oh,
Sorry. Please write it down.
okay.
Alright, we almost got to the question part. Alright, but implementation. Alright? Muscle, which is a physical resource. Time, which is a limited resource. Alright, to make money, which is a spiritual limited resource. Alright? Now, unification. This is the management portion of it. Management. Okay? So when it comes to management, this is when you start to unify the efforts of people on the implementation level. Isn't that how it works at your job? You have the managers, they're working the floor. You want to make sure that everybody's working together. You unify the efforts of others. Right? You tend to make a little more at this level. Right? So unification is the second level of value. Third level, communication. This is when you better yourself, when you start learning how to speak. Y'all ever heard somebody that really can speak well? Alright? And they don't and they speak. When they speak, they're not just unifying people, but they inspire people. Alright? So how many people listen to a song? Y'all have been in a bad spot, but then a song came on the radio and it lifted your mood. Or you heard somebody come and do a speech, and it made you believe that you can do something. Right? Or you even watched a movie and heard somebody a speech or an actor's role in that, and it made you inspired. Alright? So people that communicate at this level, this is when you start seeing multi-millionaires being made at this level. When you have a mouth that you can use to inspire others, alright, that's when you start seeing people make millions to hundreds of millions of dollars. Alright? But what about the buildings? That's the top levels. Imagination. You would notice that all the world's billionaires, y'all ever notice that the world's billionaires use their imagination and they just put their money with their thoughts? From the Bill Gates, y'all don't see Bill Gates playing no football or nothing. No. Alright? Steve Jobs. Alright? Elon Musk. Y'all know Elon Musk ain't played nothing athletic. Right? But they're billionaires. And what are they known for doing? Taking their thoughts and investing their money into their thoughts. Their creativity. I want you to understand that you're a child of the Creator. So since you're a child of the Creator, right? How you doing, King? So since you're a child of the Creator, you're made to be creative. And guess what? You don't run out of creativity. How many people had an idea sometime this week? Just an idea or something, right? We never run out of it. So the difference is the poor person is going to look at money and say, you know what? I need to work X amount of hours to make X amount of money. The wealthy person is going to say, I need to think of an idea that I can generate me some money. I'm going to think of an offer. I'm going to think of a plan. It's creativity. If you don't run out of creativity, guess what? So since your creativity is a limitless resource, it gets to generate you more limitless resources as well. So, how many people already notice that everything that I do has been coming out of the Bible already, right?
Yeah.
So let's put the scripture on the screen of all four of these. Lowest level implementation, right? Where people are working, using their muscles. Unification, where they're starting to join the efforts of others. Communication, when you're inspiring with your words. Imagination, to have the vision to bring it all together, right? Well, this scripture right here, all the way in Genesis chapter 11, verse 6. How many people remember the story of Babel, the Tower of Babel, when they were trying to build to the heavens, right? So these things work, not just if you're doing good, they work regardless. So what did God say right here? He said, the Lord God said, behold, the people is one, unification, and they all have one language, right? And this they begin to do, implementation. And now nothing will be restrained for them, which they have imagined to do. Isn't that all four of them?
Yeah.
All four. And he said nothing will be restrained for them that they imagined to do. Genesis chapter 11, verse 6. You see all four levels in one. When all four of these are aligned, you literally become unstoppable. Literally become unstoppable. Okay? So, we're going to take a quick break. So, Denise, you had a question.
Yeah. My question was about implementation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, what really has been resting on my heart is I think implementation is one of the hardest things because it's like getting something done tends to be the biggest hurdle to overcome, getting something done.
Yes. Now watch this. Y'all heard what she just said? She was like, implementation is the hardest one, right? How many people ever stayed at a hotel before? Right? Y'all stayed at a hotel? Y'all noticed that the housekeeping crew, they work the hardest. They gonna clean all those rooms, alright? They gotta deal with all the craziness inside of those rooms. Who do y'all think gets paid more? The housekeeper, the CEO, but not even just that. The person at the desk that checks you in is paid more than the housekeeper group. They are literally the lowest paid people in the hotel, but they work the hardest. Anybody who went to the hotel and saw the person that checks you in, they're not even at the desk. They're somewhere on their phone, sitting down, chilling. Right? The harder the job, the less the pay.
Okay.
Y'all ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's hard. So the people, and I want you to even take a look at this on a grand scale. You always hear rich people try to convince you that you're not working hard enough. But if you ever shook a rich person's hand, you're like, you work a day in your life. Right? It's really soft. Well, guess what? I worked my hardest when I was poor. When I was rich, I had a whole bunch of stuff started getting given to me. People wanted to work for me. Why? Because they looked at me as a higher value. Because I inspired them. But what are the people inspired to do? They're inspired to work for you. Y'all seeing that? And so they're working. But this is what we've been taught. All right? I want you to understand this. Your time is more important than money. Your time is more important than money. And a lot of us wait till we get to the end of our lives and start living like that. Because we assume that we have all the time in the world. Rich people don't. Rich people start getting their affairs in order early. Y'all ever notice that? We go, oh, they're rich. Oh, they got their will, their trust, insurance, all of that stuff is done. The Rothschild family, we've heard about them. And we always talk about what they're doing to take over the world. But how many people looked at how they position themselves business-wise? Y'all know how they got their trust set up? I'm going to tell y'all how they have their trust set up. Their trust is set up Because they would take out a life insurance policy, right? They would take a loan out to purchase a company. And then they'll take this life insurance policy. So anytime that one of them passes away, they get all of this tax-free money, and they purchase these companies, and then they take another loan out and start giving other companies. Y'all ever start wondering how they own so many companies? That's how they've been doing it. So as they pass away, they get stronger by their family members. And so each generation, they have more influence, because all they're doing is using this as holding companies, and it's under a trust. So nothing can come back to them because it's under a trust. And since it's under a trust, these holding companies all have insurance policies that's tied to a company. Alright? So when they pass away, they just gained more property, took out another one, and took up the rest of these other companies on this insurance policy because it's risk. They literally use debt to get richer. We be trying to survive debt. You know, I gotta pay off my debt. They leverage debt. So this is why you see had Jay-Z and Beyonce, they already own lots of houses already. But they refinanced the house for $52 million. Now why do y'all think they did that?
Take the equity out.
They took the equity, but do they need the equity? No. So rich people understand that equity, like this is sitting house, is not making them money. So I'm gonna take this equity and I'm gonna invest the equity for a higher percentage of return than it's actually gaining, right? So if the house, if the equity is gaining like what, 1% or 2% or whatever, I'm gonna go and put it in the money market and see if I can get 3% or 6%. So I don't mind refinancing it and paying the interest, because if the interest on that house is 1% or 1.5%, but I'm making 3% on the money market, or I'm making 6% on the money market and the interest on the house is 3%, I'm still winning. And I'm just taking the interest to pay this off again, which is also boosting my credit. Am I making sense? They take debt and they leverage debt to make money. And so these are some of the things that you're going to see us talk about. All right? But I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes. Anybody have any other questions? I'm going to give you a couple of more minutes and we're going to get to the next level of awesome. A couple of seconds. Y'all need to get some water, use the restroom, please do now.
Yes. So the third item we must be more aware of the factory of
The factor of our methods. So those are principles. How do we go about our day-to-day? What are our factors? What are our principles that we utilize? A lot of people just go through life and they just do things, but do you have a standard? Like we have standards as men, right? There's certain things as men that we just not gonna do. How do we operate? Well, I'm the head of this household right here. I'm not gonna let my account go on so certain level. I'm not gonna go on a trip without a certain amount of money, right? These are like different principles that we have, right? We'll be getting started again at 11:20.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, so refreshment this side. We like hot beverage, tea, alright. Have some water. Sure.
Then we get to the trading part now. How you doing, bro? Man, it's the big. It's all good, my boy.
Got a lot of I have to get the kids off.
Everything all right?
Yeah. So Chris is in Fort Lauderdale.
What is the water?
And the boys.
Cold one or room temperature?
Cool.
Big boss.
The boys just went to the company.
Did she see in my soul?
No. Apologies for that. We just haven't been able to get it, so it's still don't work on it.
Okay.
Still don't work. When do you actually do that?
Good morning. So I'll just got one more day.
Is there a platform that we're going to go on? Or you just...
Yeah, I'm a guy.
Might be. I'll see what I can do between now and then.
Huh?
I'll see what I can do between now and then.
Tomorrow my last day.
I'm ready, dude. Yeah. When she was asking about implementation though,
Okay.
being difficult, it's something that I've always played with, the fact that doing something is hard, but take bite-sized pieces. When it feels hard is when I'm looking at the whole house instead of looking at building the foundation. Yeah. So that's kind of yeah. I love
Yeah,
that.
you can have methods on how to make it easy. But we're talking about the levels of value, so how you get paid. Most times when you're looking at implementation, the hard level work is going to be the lowest paid. But the management is going to be the unification, the combine the efforts of others. So in other words, clean hands make light work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what do unification do? They do exactly what you're talking about. Hey, small pieces, but I'm assigning these small pieces to different individuals. So it's lighter work for them, but I'm unifying the efforts. And that's why they get paid. So unification, that's the second level. And the third level is communication. When you're able to speak.
So just give me the levels again, please. First level is
The first level, implementation.
that's the first level.
Yeah.
And then
Huh? Yes. The implementation first.
yeah.
Die, you about to choke, man. I hope you're dying. Second level is unification. Oh, I'm sorry.
Second level. Come on.
Unification.
Unification.
Management.
And you say this is where you manage what's being implemented.
Yeah, you're
What's
unifying the efforts of people on the implementation level. You're unifying the efforts of others,
Okay.
which is what management does.
Alright.
But
Alright.
there's a cap on that because typically you're a management, but you're not an owner. So we own you, so there's a cap. There's so much you're gonna make.
Pretty much where I'm at right now.
So the third level is communication. And this is where we tell people to start reading books and all that stuff because the more that you know, the more that you can inspire people.
Really,
You don't want that. Smashing roads.
I'm good. I'm out.
You brought some back.
No, actually I didn't. I was just moving them back. I just ran because I was late. Just trying to get the boys out and stuff. They've gone to the country with their cousin. I told them to send to the hotel for a couple of days.
I'll be back out.
Oh.
Get that beat thing done.
Yes,
So
definitely.
I gotta get these cooked. I gotta get at least 2 or 3 of them soaps because my daughter can take one. That's what happened last time. I didn't get, and she made me like the black soap and all that. And as soon as I got home, I'm like, what my soap? My daughter. Dad, this is great. Like, for real.
One way or the other, you get it. If I can make some magic happen between now and before you leave, I will.
Right?
If not, give me an address and we can mail it to you.
Okay.
We can mail it to you. All right, and the fourth level after communication,
Imagination.
Imagination. I live there.
No. This is where you take your thoughts and you invest your money into your thoughts. That's how you became an entrepreneur. Had an idea and you invested your money into your thoughts.
That's true. I've never played it out like that, but yeah. Yeah.
I'm no different than what Elon Musk did. Everybody think that Elon Musk is this genius, right? But he didn't invent Tesla. He paid for it. They trying to put him like he's Nikola Tesla. Like, no, he's Elon. And every time he talks, he's trying to let y'all know that he.
Got it.
Yeah, so I got this thing set up in Alabama. So the first Thursdays of the month in Mobile, that's what got that whole team to go feed the homeless.
Oh, really?
Nice.
I like that give back part of it.
Yeah, that's the main part. That's the whole thing about it. Everybody always thinks it's about the money. And it is, but it's like we create an environment where people are aware of how to give back. Some people want to give back but don't know how.
Don't know how. That's it. Because it feels like I got to short this in order to give that away. And it really shouldn't come from a place of let me take from here and go there. It should just be. Just shout back to the boys and tell them that I topped up both their phones. I said just shout back to the boys and tell them that I topped up both their phones so they can put on the guns now. That's okay, you know. Alright, cool.
go ahead and get back started? Alright, so we're gonna go to trading view.
Oh, Lionel?
Alright. So tradingview.com is where we're gonna start. You can scan that on there, but if you have a laptop, just go to tradingview.com.
There's Wi-Fi available?
Yes.
Yes, so give me 1 second.
We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit here, y'all.
I'm so sorry, everyone. It was sent to me a while back. I was just searching for it.
Just follow along with me.
Oh, there you go. There you go. See, it's Iris B660. So you can just see the password here.
Are you supposed to create an account? At tradingview.com?
You can just scan that. Or you can't do that on your laptop. Or just create an account so you would have one.
That's free. Make sure you choose free. Don't get a paid account. Okay. Alright, Victor and Carly. Alright. One of these up in the trade account.
Alright, look up. Alright, so you just look in.
I'm just looking up the
You
Wi-Fi.
need this? You need this?
No.
Anyone need Wi-Fi?
Alright, who all needs help getting their trading view account set up?
Who help? Who needs help? Lionel, you good?
Yeah, I can.
Right.
He needs help.
Denise, you're on trading view?
Yes, we're recording.
Alright, so you're good.
You say you already got trading view?
No, man, I'm in.
You're in?
Okay, I just wanted to know if I was supposed to create an account. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Good to go? Alright, everybody ready? Alright. So the next one is our broker. If you this is the broker that we're going to be using. However, if you already have a broker, you're free to use your own. Okay? It does not scan this one. Now, we're going to talk about this real quick as to why we're using this one. Number one, when you have a different broker than the one that we actually call signals out on and all of that, each broker has a different price point. So if I tell you to get in at 3, your broker may say 5. Alright? And so you'll have to know the conversion between that. So this is why a lot of people just keep the same broker. Okay? But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you are free to use your own broker. Here's the other thing. We're going to talk about scams for a second. All right? When it comes to scams, a lot of people don't know what to look for. So in this industry, there's, I want you to write this number down, $7.6 trillion a day is what's made in Forex. $7.6 trillion a day. So can we agree that that's an amount that'll attract a lot of different types of people, right?
That's right.
All right. And so some of those people are going to be, right? All right. Make sure. Alright, so we're going to make sure that everyone understands this. So some of those brokers, ladies and gentlemen, if you really understand how this works, some of them are not legitimate brokers. And so a lot of people run into scams that way. A lot of people run into scams that way. So when I first started trading, okay, I had everybody tell me to use a particular type of broker. They told me to use Hugo's way. Okay? And just to put that into perspective, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put Hugo's way on here just so y'all can see it. Okay? How many people see the problem with it already just looking at the screen?
No license.
No license. What else do they not have in red? No regulation. Now just to put this into perspective, the influence index number is number 1 in the United States. But they're in the top 15% in the world. Y'all know what that tells me? That tells me that there's a whole lot of people, right? There's a whole lot of people that have no idea what they're talking about, but they're doing all the talking when it comes to Forex. This is why you see so many people getting scammed, because there's so many people that want to seem important. Anybody ever have somebody like that, even at a job?
Yeah.
But people just want to seem like they know everything. Oh, I know it all. I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you. All right? I want us to get into the habit of this. If they do not have the results, that is not where you get your mentorship from. If you can't verify the results, okay? Y'all heard what I said about verifying the results, all right? If they can't verify, then you might not want to follow those procedures, okay? Because you're going to get the results that they got, all right? How many people had parents that told them to follow a certain path because it was going to make them rich, and it didn't, all right? When I was, and it's no slight against parents, what happened is we listen to people that we respect more so than people with results. And a lot of times that gets us in trouble because you got to ask yourself this question: what type of results do they have? So keep this in mind. When you take somebody's advice, you just bought their lifestyle.
Oh my goodness.
Right? And so if you bought their lifestyle, you got to ask yourself, is that the lifestyle that you want? Seriously. So if you had to have your mom have surgery, are you going to talk to your auto mechanic about her surgery? Of course. Right. Why? Right? That is not that area of expertise. That doesn't mean that they don't have great advice, but you want to get advice from people that have that area of expertise. So what a lot of people do is say, you know what? Hey, you can go teach yourself how to trade on YouTube. And you see all these people on YouTube. Now the world is telling you, they got the numbers. Over 85 to 92% of traders fail. So that means that you probably don't want to listen to the people that's in the masses. Just to put that in perspective, this is not throwing people under the bus. I'm just putting what's out there. So now it makes sense why the number one used broker in the United States is a broker that doesn't even have regulation, it doesn't even have a license. And all through here, you're seeing people getting scammed, you're seeing people talking about it. I'm able to make withdrawals from my trade account. Here's the other thing, there's no physical address. So what does that really mean? Regulation means that they have a government company that's overseeing them to make sure that they're being fair with you, your money, and your information. Because what information does the broker have? Well, they have your ID. That's already a problem. They have access to your money because they're the ones that are initiating the trades. Now, how many people want to have your personal information, your money, right? All of that in the hands of a scam artist? I'm pretty sure you don't. So this is why you want to put this website in your arsenal, wikifx.com. All right? wikifx.com. It is free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You literally go to it and start using it. So if you have a broker, just type in the name of that broker and see if that broker is regulated or not. Why is that so important? Because if you lose money on that broker, then now you can report it and get your money back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But in this scenario where this company, this broker right here does not have regulation. So who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters? You ain't calling nobody because they're not regulated. They don't have a license. Now, you can say, well, I'm gonna just go up there and go get my money. Somebody gonna talk to me. There's no physical address. Okay? So always make sure that if somebody offers you a broker, look it up and make sure that it's there. Okay, make sure that it's regulated. Make sure that it has all those things. Because out of 10 points, this broker has 1.56. Okay? Now another way that people get scammed is educational platforms. So you've probably been on like something like WhatsApp or Telegram or in these chats, and somebody just threw you inside of a chat that you didn't ask to be in. And they're like, we're gonna teach you how to trade. And some people will be like, oh man, I didn't ask for this, but they talking. I've been wanting to learn how to trade. Let me tell you something. A broker and an educational platform cannot coexist under the same umbrella. What I mean by that is this: they cannot be your educational platform and be your broker at the same time. They cannot do it. Once they're your broker, they can't be anything else under international law. Why? Because they have too much information. They know your positions for trading. That's already compromising in itself. They know how much money you have. They have access to your money. They know your identity. They know way too much information about you to offer you to be anything else because it will be a conflict of interest. All right? Let me give you an example. If I'm the broker and I know which contract it is being, I know where your entry is and I know where your stop loss is. Why? Because I'm the one that put it in. I'm your broker. Well, I can't be anything else then because now I can settle that information. I have an unfair advantage. I can actually trade against you and take your money because I know your position. So brokers aren't allowed to be anything other than your brokers. That makes sense, everyone?
Yep.
So if you're on an educational platform and they tell you, hey, let's go ahead and help you guys learn how to trade. I'm gonna show you guys how to trade. Now when you take your first trade, just click right here on this button right here. You're taking a trade on their website. No, because only a broker can put you in a trade. So if you're taking a trade on their website, you're in a scam. Okay? So I want y'all to understand that if you're on the same website that you're taking a trade on, that's educating you, you're in a scam. Run. Let me show you how that works. What they'll tell you, as a matter of fact, let me give you an example of some. This is one of the biggest ones, Novatech. Now how many people notice that all of these are really the same company? Y'all had that scam artist that call y'all phone every day? They're like, hey, we just call you about your car auto warranty insurance. I got the, okay, I'll call you back a little later from a different number, but it's the same person. Hey, we're just calling you about the student loan debt. Hey, you got insurance heritage. It's the same people. So what scam artists do is they make a whole bunch of different things of the same thing and throw all of them at you. So finally, you finally cave into one of them. Okay? So if you look at this, how many people see the eagle behind this one? And there's an eagle here. There's an eagle under this. They just put something on top of it. Scam artists don't have time to do a whole bunch of detail work. So a lot of them is thrown together. Okay? But you notice that all these are telling you no regulation, unverified. Nova Prime is new. This is the new one. Alright, no regulation. All of these are here. It's the same thing. Nova FX trade options. Nova trade. It's the same stuff. Nova trade. Just put an S on it. Isn't it the same thing like those Instagram pages of fake people?
Yeah.
And they just change a couple of letters.
Right.
It's the same thing. Okay? So why do they do that? Because if you're on their platform and you believe that you're on a legitimate platform, not only are you paying them fees to join that platform, but also they're going to tell you to take a trade on their platform. And you're thinking that you're on the real market and you're not. You're on the simulated market. So now all of a sudden you just won $1,500 or $200,000 in 15 minutes. And you can do that, but it typically doesn't happen to a newbie. Okay? I know you can do that because I've done it several times, but I didn't do it as a newbie. Alright? I had to build my way up to that. And the thing is, what they're going to tell you is, you're going to want to pull that money out. Alright? If you had $200,000 you made in 15 minutes and you already had bills, can we agree that eventually you're going to pull some of that money out? Like, I need to do some of this.
That money been spent already.
Right. It's already out there, right? I'm going to pull this money out, but then now your emotions are involved. I'm like, man, I already told myself what I'm going to do, so you're going to pull this money out. And you get an error message that tells you, oh, you have to take care of the broker fees. Your broker fee. Oh, well, you have the broker initiated the trade for you, so you have to pay 10%. Now, once you take care of that 10%, then they can release the money to you. What's 10% of $200,000? 20 grand, right? I've seen people lose their house. Kid you not. And I've had people call me like, Gordon, hey, I'm gonna go, hey, look, let me borrow $20,000 from you real quick. I just made $200,000, I gotta pay these broker fees. I would tell them that, hey, that's a scam. Man, you always hate on me, man. Man, every time somebody got something good. And then the next call they get is, man, they took it all. I told you that. Like I do this for a living. Like you were in a scam. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm telling y'all this with the dearness of my heart. If they tell you that you have to pay money after you've made the money, a legitimate broker doesn't do that. A legitimate broker takes their money off the top. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all know any Fortune 500 company that works on IOUs? I need my money up front before I initiate a trade. Okay? And so, let me show you what this looks like. So, again, we're being transparent. I'm going to show y'all my real trade account. What is one of them? Okay? So, we can see this trade account right here. So, y'all see that currently I'm not in any trades because the market is closed on the weekend except for cryptocurrency. So, we'll go to a cryptocurrency pair. Let's go to Bitcoin. Alright, so we're going to go right here to BTC, USD. So now we'll see that this one is actually moving. Okay? Now, this is the live market. Bring this on down. Now, in this instance right here, this is called a lot size, LOT, lot size. Your lot size is what you wager on the market to make money. Okay? So, there's going to be three types. I'm going to break that down to you in a minute. But remember, when you take a trade, the broker doesn't charge you based on how much money you have in your account. They charge you based on how much you wager on each trade. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's say that I took 0.01, right? And I'm going to hit this green button right here. Right? I'm going to hit this green button. That means I'm getting in a buy. That means that I believe the market is going to go up. Now y'all see how this order just opened? Y'all see the transaction ID right here. They charged me 41 cents for that. Right? So that's why I started off with a negative. So they charged me 41 cents for that trade. Now, they didn't say, Gordon, when you get done, we're gonna charge you 10% when you get done with this trade, did they? They took their money off the top, did they not? I need my 41 cents. Thank you very much, good sir. Keep on trading. We love it. All right. Now, let's increase this. I'm going to do 10 standards. Now, if you don't know that 0.01 lot size, that simply stands for 10 cents per pip. All right. And I'm going to get into what that means in a minute. So now we're going to do 10 standards. Okay. I'm going to do 10 standards. This means $100 per pip. Same way. How many people thought they took $65 for this one? Well, I'm sorry, $412.50 for this one. That's where I'm at right here. Versus 41 cents. Does everybody see the difference? Now, the difference was the lot size, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just the lot size. We'll come back and check on this in a minute. But it was the lot size. It had nothing to do with how much money I have in this account. How much money do I have in this particular account? Does everybody see it? This particular account right here. Alright? So now let's go to, matter of fact, let's pull that back up. Currency strength. I love this thing because you get to see everything, all your demonstrations here. You have your correlation pairs. Alright? You can go right here and hit plus. You have your calculators, market and data. Does everybody see this? So now I can go and take a look at my market list. I can see the changes in them. I can see the contracts. So we have all of these things, and this is another reason why I love this broker. I also have the news. So I have my price action news. It'll tell me where I have support at according to the news. I also have my resistance according to the news. So I can literally start taking trades just off of them telling me what the news support and resistance is. Alright? Beautiful setup. Everybody got that? Alright? So we're going to come back and look at this in a minute. So, again, legitimate brokers do not charge you after the fact. Alright? Does that make sense to everybody? They don't charge you after the fact. They charge you during. They're going to take their money off the top, and that's it. They're not going to wait and be like, hey, I see you got 126 million in your account, man. Let me get 10% of that. No. No. I need my money off the top for each trade. Okay? So, let's break this down, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into, now that we know what to look for on stamps. Now let's talk about a couple of things real quick. Alright, the candles that you're going to see on the charts. Alright? So the only thing I need you to understand on this one right here, bullish means that the market is going up. Alright? So if I say bullish, which direction are we looking at? Which one? Alright, so if I say bearish, which direction?
Down.
Alright, so bullish is up, bearish is
Down.
alright, cool. Alright, so if this candle is going up, when it started being formed, it started at the bottom and it closed at the top. Alright, it opened right here at the bottom, closed at the top. Now what does this high and low mean? So there's something called a time chart. Okay? So a time chart simply means it's the same chart, because remember we're going to do currency pairs in just a second. But if I'm on a 5-minute chart, that means that each candle on that chart took 5 minutes to form. That makes sense? 5 minutes to form, right? So what if I'm on a 1-hour chart? How long did it take me to form? 1 hour. What if I'm on a daily chart?
24 hours.
What if I'm on a weekly chart? All right, does that make sense? You just learn the language to take you far. Now, if I'm on a weekly chart, and it took me one candle, right? One candle took a week, right? So inside of that one candle, how many days do we have? 7. All right, so on my daily chart, if I drop down to the daily chart, those same 7 candles will be inside of that one candle. Does that make sense? It's fractal. All right? So inside of the daily chart, how many hour candles inside of one daily candle? 24. All right, this makes sense, everybody? All right, so when you see the wick which is the skinny part on top of it, that means that if this is a 5-minute candle, it started forming right here, and during that 5 minutes, this was the highest price point that it reached, and this was the lowest price point that it reached. But at the end of that 5, it stopped right here. That's all that candle means. Okay? So we go and look. If we go and look at the chart, how many people see this candle right here? It's got 8 minutes remaining. Does everybody see that it's forming?
Yeah.
Now what chart are we on? We see it right here. 1 hour. We're already up $90. Did y'all work too hard making that $90 job? Like
I'm tired.
Alright. $90? Okay. Alright. Man, I clicked the button, man. I got a cramp. Alright. So we're gonna go back and check. Oh, now we're at 200. Not gonna 30 is just moving, consolidating. Now, if we're looking, this is where we're at right here on this one candle, right? So we're up to, like y'all see it going back and forth from 79 and 200 some dollars. So if I drop down, I'm gonna go right here. If I drop down into minutes and went to the 5 minutes, we'll see what's actually going on. Does everybody see it right there now? This is where we're at. So this is what's happening. We got 2 minutes and 26 seconds for the end of this candle to form. And so now we can see what's happening. Alright? Now we can see what's happening. Cool. Hopefully everybody can see that. Alright, so come back and
The glare. The glare because of the window. If you could close the blinds there, it would probably help a bit. No, you have to close the blinds as well. Pull the string. Yeah. Not that one, the other one.
They're missing.
Oh, those missing.
Yeah, they're missing.
oh, okay, got it.
That's a little better.
Okay. Cool. You might just have to have you stand in front of it.
Take that banner and put over here.
Alright. Cool. Can y'all see it now?
Crack back the window because I think it's probably going to get hot from working.
Alright, so there we go. Alright, so does everybody see how this is counting down? This tells us how many more minutes that this has performed. So what was the open of this red counter? This top part is what it opened because it's a down counter, right? This is the lowest point that it's gone thus far. It's this little wick right here. Does everybody see that? So we're going to see, we got 1 minute and 8 seconds. So just letting y'all see how the counter forms so y'all understand what's actually happening. And y'all see that this is measuring this price. When y'all see the price is changing here, it's just measuring the price point on the right-hand side. And so that's how we are measuring the money that we're making on this or the money that we're losing on this. Okay? So again, your lot size dictates what it is that you're doing. Okay? How much money that you're making or gaining, the rate that you're doing, wagering per tip. Now, let's get into this real quick. You can go ahead and pick up the pace. Currency pairs. Y'all saw I put BTC USD on that one because that was Bitcoin to the United States dollar. A currency pair is simply a pair of currencies. A pair of currencies. So you see USD JPY. Alright? USD stands for what?
US dollar.
US dollar. What does JPY stand for?
Japanese yen.
Japanese yen. So isn't that 2 pair of currencies? Very simple. Currency pair. And what we do with currency pairs is we leverage them against each other so we can make money. Okay? So when you're buying one currency, you're selling your currency and vice versa. So this is called an exchange. That's why this is called Forex. It's the foreign exchange market. Does that make sense? Foreign exchange. You're exchanging foreign currencies. Now, the currency pair on the left-hand side, the very first one is called your base currency. So write that down. Base currency and then put equal 1. Base currency equals 1. Just 1. Okay? It equals 1. Now, if the base currency equals 1, there's something called the quote currency. That's the one on the right-hand side. Now, the quote currency is telling you this exchange rate down here at the bottom. This is your exchange rate. Number, right? So that's telling you how much of the quote currency is needed to equal one of the base currency. So that means it would take, with this look right here, it would take 144.908 Japanese yen to equal one American dollar. Does that make sense, everybody? So this is the exchange rate. Okay? So now that you know that, I want you to understand the difference between Forex and stocks. People get that mixed up all the time. So when you're dealing with stocks, you're talking about the ownership. Meaning that, hey, I own a part of this company, or I own a part of the service or the product or whatever, right? I have shares of that. It's called a share because you have part ownership, right? But in Forex, you don't have ownership. When I trade USD JPY, do I have to have Japanese yen to do that? GBP JPY, which is Great British, I don't have to have that because I'm not trading the ownership. I'm trading the movement. So in Forex, it's called contracts. And so what it's saying is, look, I'm going to get in at a certain price point. So let's go take a look at where we're at right here. Do y'all see this price point that we got in? It said that we got in at our open price is at 117,857.5 is what we got in right here, right? That is the price point that we got in at. Okay? So my contract was a buying one, meaning if it goes higher, then I make money because I'm saying I believe the price is going to go higher than this point. So the higher it goes, the more money I make. If it goes lower, I'm losing money. Am I losing money right now? Yeah. Because it's doing what's called a pullback. Because if it's fair value, you got me going to shoot up. So, ladies and gentlemen, we already see it trying to work its way up. But we'll come back and check on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this right here, very, very, very important. So what is a pip? This is when we start measuring how far away it is from that entry point. Alright? It's a unit of measurement. So, when it comes to your pips, alright, how to identify them in the exchange rate on a regular Forex pair, it's going to be the fourth number after the decimal. See it on the screen. So in this example right here, if y'all can see it, which one of these numbers is the actual pip?
8.
8. Let's go. So if I lost one pip, what number would it be then?
7.
7. Alright? And so if I went down a pip, that means that if I was in a sell, write this down. Sell means that you anticipate the market to go down. Buy means that you anticipate the market to go up. That makes sense, everybody?
Yeah.
You anticipate it to go down, it's a sell. If I anticipate it to go up, it's a buy. Very simple, right? Very, very simple. All right. Now that we got that. For a yen pair, these are the only ones that's really different. Yen pairs, right? They have the word yen in it. So we got Japanese yen. Is that a yen pair, y'all? Japanese yen. Is that a yen pair? All right. So in yen pairs, it's the second number after the decimal. So in this case, which number is it?
0.
0. Okay? Outstanding. All right, so now that we understand that, now let's talk about what a lot size is. So I'm going to show y'all something real simple. Real simple. Let's go to the charts here. Okay? So now that we're on this chart right here, okay? Do y'all see how I put this line right here on this swing low? And y'all see the price point right here? Now we're going to measure this in just a minute. But bottom line is, this is your price point. And so if I said I wanted to sell from this price point, the further down it went, the more money I make. Okay? So look at it as I start scrolling down. Y'all see the numbers starting to go down as I go down? It's measuring the pips. And so now let's take a look at these lot sizes real quick. We'll talk about it. We have 3 main types of lot sizes. Okay? We're going to come back to this. Alright? We're going to come back to this lot size. Take a look at it. The first one is called a micro lot. And it looks like this, 0.01. 0.01. We're gonna come back to this. So you want to make sure that you write it down. 0.01. Now that 0.01 looks like a penny, but it actually equals 10 cents per pip. So if the market moves in your favor, 1 pip, how much money did you make?
10 cents.
10 cents. Right? Now, a mini lot. A mini lot looks like 0.10. It looks like a dime, right? But it actually equals $1 per pip. So if you did a mini lot, meaning that you typed in 0.10, then that means that if you made 1 pip, how much money did you make? $1. Right? And then my favorite, 1.0. It's a standard lot. It actually equals $10 per pip. So, if we did $10, right, per pip, if we made 2 pips, how much money did we make?
$20.
$20. That's very simple, right? All right. So y'all can see how 3 different people can take the same trade and ways are different, and they all make something different, right? So let's get into this now.
Is my phone discussed but you said that we should ask this is the right platform to ask the questions, right?
There are
At
no
the
stupid
end.
questions.
Alright.
But
At the end, write it down.
at the end,
Yeah.
no. Did you have something to say about this real quick? Okay. All right. We're gonna come back to it. We almost to the end already. All right. So these are 3 things, right? This is, the reason I'm gonna focus on these things because the market likes to go to 3 specific places: the swing high, the swing low, and the fair value gap. 3 places. And you're gonna see that it travels to these. So I'm gonna show you what these are. And then we're gonna look at the charts. And then we're gonna take a quick break. Now, the swing high is simply a 3 candle system. Now a lot of people look at this different. They do their swing highs. It'd be like a cluster of highs and a cluster of this, right? But to us, it is the 3 candle system where the candle in the middle is taller than the candle on the left or the right. Doesn't matter the color. You know why? Because the candles are measuring price, aren't they? Isn't it measuring price? So this is simply saying that this candle in the middle reached the price that the candle on either side of it did reach. Very simple. Right? 3 candles, the candle in the middle is taller than the candles on the left or the right. Okay? Now, a swing low. Swing low. Another 3 candle system. Where the candle on the left or the right, alright, it's not as low as the candle in the middle. That's a swing low. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about this too, because swing highs and swing lows are indications. We're indicating that it may go higher if it's a swing high. We're indicating that it may go lower if it's a swing low. But if it does it, that's your confirmation. But if it doesn't, it's just an indication. Okay? Indications are not confirmations. Alright? I'm gonna show you how that helps you out real quick. First, let's talk about this fair value gap. Now, this fair value gap, you have candles 1, 2, and 3, because it's another 3 candle system. And the only thing a fair value gap means is candle number 1 does not overlap candle number 3 in any form. Just put a line there. Everybody see how I put a line from the bottom of candle number 1 and the top of candle number 3. Do they overlap at all? No. And since they don't overlap, the space in the middle is called a fair value gap.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
so space between the bottom of candle 1 width and the top of candle 3 width.
Yeah. But you're going to look at the entirety of the candle. Sometimes the candle may not have a width. So it's just any part of that candle, no part of that candle can overlap candle number 3. Okay? This is going to be key right here. So all of these are entry points and target points because price like to travel to those. Let me show y'all something that y'all can do just what I just showed you before we get into any strategy. Watch this. So we have a swing low right here, right? This is a swing low. If we look at candle 1, 2, and 3, isn't that candle lower? Let me make it bigger. Now see this little small green candle right here? Doesn't it reach lower than the candle on the left or the right of it? Right? So I put a line up. Look at that. Now, here's a quick little trick right here. Now, let's say that none of these candles are formed yet. So we're gonna go, let's say these red candles are starting to form. And they finally cross this swing low right here. Y'all see how it crossed this swing low? So as soon as this red candle right here crosses this swing low, then we're gonna look for the first green candle. What's the opposite of this red candle? Is it green? So we're gonna look for the first green candle to the left of it. Right there. So it crossed right here. This is the first green candle. Guess what? This is our entry point now. What's the price for that entry? Right here. So we would have just waited for it to come back here. We would have typed in our trading platform, this is where we're going to get in at on this price point. It would have came back and y'all see how this wick came and hit it? It would have activated our trade and sold down. We would have been in profit. Why? Because our contract is from this price point down. Y'all see how simple it was just taking a swing low and saying I'm gonna wait for price to trade past it. Once it trades past it, okay, boom. So this is now what's called an order block. I'm just gonna I'm gonna go from right where it crossed and go to the first green candle to the left. Now don't take too much time with this because this is talked over and over in detail in the mental shift, but I'm just showing you how simple this is. So that would mean that it activated on this particular candle here. Now let me ask y'all a question. What chart are we on? The minute chart, right? So how long did it take each one of these candles to form? 1 minute. So we got in right here on this candle. So this is where it activated. Now let's go and measure this real quick. I'm gonna just go to right here. I ain't gonna even go all the way down. Okay? I'll go to 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, this is 30 minutes, we made over 455 pips. Alright, just off of that order block. 455 pips in 30 minutes. So let's now take what we learned about lot sizes real quick, shall we? So we had lot sizes, but we also had what's the equation? Alright. And it was 455 pips in 30 minutes. That's what we had, right? Now let's see what these lot sizes look like. The first one was called a micro. Micro lot was what? 0. What? 0.01. That's how much per
10
pip?
cents.
10 cents. So that's 10 cents. Okay. 10 cents. Per pip. So 10 cents times this. In 30 minutes you made $45.50. Alright? Anybody okay with making that in 30 minutes just from clicking the button? Anybody else? Anybody making $45 an hour?
Not
Just
US.
to put that into perspective. Because a lot of times when we make something easy, we be like, I want more. It's just the way what's $45? Well, you did it in 30 minutes. Just to put that into perspective. Alright? Now, the next one's called the mini lot. Now the mini lot is what? 0. What? 1 0. Right? And it, yeah, there we go. Equals $1 per pip. Okay? So this person made what? $1 times 455. $455 in how long? 30 minutes. Anybody okay with that? Okay. Even at this point right here, can we see why people quit their jobs when they learn how to do this? Alright. Can we really just to free up your time to start making money like clicking the button? Alright. Okay, cool. Now the next one. Standard lot. Okay?
STD.
Huh?
That's what it said, STD.
Yeah, STD lot, right. Alright? The standard lot size is what, y'all?
$10.
Right? Looks at 1.0, but it equals $10 per bill. Okay? So, $10 times 455. $4,550 in 30 minutes. We ain't even went into the strategy yet. We just talked about a swing low being traded past. That's it. Alright? So, just simply saying there's so much potential in making money here. Now, just to put that into perspective. Alright? I'm going to show y'all this real quick. We don't get into manipulation and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to get into this strategy real quick, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to get out of here, all right? After we come back and I go over this. This is called the 51 strike strategy. All right? So I'm going to go over this. Y'all can take a screenshot of it. Very, very, very simple. Okay? Oh, sorry, you still take a picture? Everybody got it? Alright. So this is the only part of it, so it's like, oh man, I got the whole strategy, man, I'm really rich. You can take this to rich, I'm be honest, you can. But let's go ahead and look at US 30 real quick. I love US 30 right now. So we're gonna go to the first part of the week. Y'all know I don't really trade on Fridays and Thursdays. But you can. Gordon does. Okay? Alright, so. Alright, here we go. So now we're going to look for the 5-minute counter of what time, y'all?
5.
The 5-minute counter on what? 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, right? Okay. Oh, we got work too. Go a little closer. Yeah, we don't want to count up the zero all day. Alright? So what is it? Thursday? Thursday will be Wednesday. So I'm going to show some consistency. Trading, we want to let you go back so far. So now drop down to that 1 minute. I'm not going to let you go back that far. Alright, so we got a. Alright, 9:30. All we did was to drop down to 1 minute. What I'm talking about. Drop down to 1 minute, you gotta go for a lot. That's where it's going to find. Avoid that. Alright, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very simple work here. So, we're on US 30. Now, what did it say for us to do on step 2? So we drew a high and low on the first 5-minute counter at 9:30, right? And then we went to the 1 minute chart. And we're waiting for it to break. And it said it moves on, meaning that we want long counters and fair value gaps. Okay? And we're going to do a market execution, meaning we're going to click the button and get right in on the next counter. Let me show you what that looks like. Alright? Just to put this in perspective. Did this counter right here break out of that 5-minute structure? Okay, as a matter of fact, let me that's your 5-minute high. 5-minute low. not looking for wicks, are we? Is that a strong energetic move? No. We need the long body of the candle. So you see this long candle right here, correct? And it broke the 5 minutes. Now let me ask y'all something. Fair value gap is a three candle structure, right? 1, 2, 3. Can we agree that candle number 3 right here does not overlap candle number 1?
Yes.
You can agree with that? So is that not a fair value gap right there? So how many candles does it take to make a fair value gap? 3, right? So at the end of this candle, right here, we would have took our entry on the very next candle. Y'all see that? On the very next candle. It broke, boom. There's our entry. Now where are we going to put our stop? Our stop is going to be on the bottom of the body of the candle that broke, right here. Now what is the stop loss? We've seen that the market can go in our favor and against us too, right? So your stop loss is your safety net. Your stop loss is saying, look, you're losing too much money. So when you get to this number right here, we're going to automatically take you out so you don't lose all your money. That makes sense? Anybody think that's a good idea? Mm-hmm. So that means that now I can set it and forget it. Alright? Because if I set it, I don't want to have to sit there all day looking at it like, did it hit? Did it hit? Alright? No, it's either going to hit your target or it's going to hit your stop loss. Alright? So now, you're going to pull this up to what's called a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning you're standing a chance to win 2 times more than you stand to lose if it hits your stop loss. This is your target right up here at the top. As you can see that this is 2-to-1. Alright? Did we hit our target?
Yes.
Alright? How many minutes did it take for us to hit it? We got in right here. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 minutes. That's how long it took us to trade, right? So from 11 minutes, $1,043 pips. So now let's do some math. Lot size. And we had 1,043 pips, right? In 11 minutes. Micro lot. Alright, 10 cents per pip, so that's what, $104? 30 cents. We okay with that, y'all? Okay. Mini lot. $1,043. 11 minutes. Standard. Man, see, look. Your money good, huh? Y'all notice the women be calling out the money like they've been quiet the whole time. You tell the money. Yeah, it's 10 grand, right? You know, you're handsome, Gordon. You know that? All of a sudden, Bill, boy, I don't see no belly on you. You got a 6-pack. Just the most in shape person I've seen in my life. Alright, for $10,430 in 11 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at is where price, this is where everything is going right now. Okay? Now, I'm going to show y'all something else that I did show on the last one. How many people been seeing politics happen?
Yes.
Right? Anybody been keeping up with America? And the president we got? Okay. How about instead of talking about politics, how about I show you how to use it to make yourself rich?
Sure.
Y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
Watch this. So I want you to understand that the country is not a country, it's a business. So, just name a city inside of America. It doesn't matter. We can say Mobile, Alabama. Okay, that's fine. Alright, we'll do Mobile, Alabama because that's my hometown. So y'all see how Wikipedia popped up? So we'll just click right here real quick. And you can do this with any city or whatever. Right now I want to show you something. you're going to see when the city was founded, 1702. But what do you see right here? It was incorporated. That's business. This is how they're able to charge you, right? Now, why is that such an important thing? Because if you stop looking at it as a country and you start looking at it as a business, it'll start making sense, don't it? So, we have the United States. Now, the United States, how many people understood that the states are actually holding companies? Remember we talked about the Rothschilds? They're designed as holding companies. So that's why they say we the people. Y'all see the ambiguous language? And we're thinking that we're talking about citizens. No, we're talking about the parent company. Okay? So I want y'all to understand this real quick. Now watch this. Because I'm not a conspiracy person. I like to have data that you can use to make money. Because I'm not really into all the politics because I understand what it is. So when you understand that, then it starts to make sense why you can vote for a mayor, you can vote for a governor, and the general population's vote determines that, right? Does that happen for the American president? No, we have something called the what? The Electoral College, which is the director's board. Alright? What is in the best interest of the company? So how many people do that? You can look at your same Forex chart and tell what's in the best interest of the company. Let me show you. Okay? So we're going to go to something called the DXY. That is called the dollar index. The dollar index is the strength of the American dollar. Now what is Forex a hinge to? The US dollar. Make sense, everybody? Alright, follow me. So write this down. The Democratic Party's policies are designed to strengthen the American dollar. The Democratic Party's policies are designed to strengthen the American dollar. Okay. So if the Democratic Party's policies are designed to strengthen the American dollar, what do y'all think the policies are for the Republican Party? Weaken it, right? Now watch this. Y'all see I got these already marked out? Right? So these are the dates that these presidents took office. You ain't got to keep going back. You can start seeing you can just follow the trend. Did not Clinton take office in 93? In January, because we always do the inauguration when in January, right? Okay, so from the time that he started to the time that he finished, did the dollar strength increase or weaken? Increase. Now Bush took over. Bush was a Republican. Alright? From the time that he started to the time that he finished, it weakened. Are we seeing the pattern? Here's Obama. Obama started here. From the time that he started to the time that he finished, strengthened. Here's Trump. Trump started here, ended here. It weakened. Here's where Biden came in, right? In 2020, isn't that when, 21, I'm sorry, isn't that when Biden came in? All right? By the time he finished, it was strengthened. And so what do y'all see I had already marked up? When we saw that Trump was going to take office, I knew that the Republican Party did what? Weaken the American dollar. So what did I do? Sell. Does everybody see that? Real simplistic. Alright? So we can use this to make money. So if I went to USD, JPY, guess what? It follows the same pattern. Y'all see it selling? It's the United States dollar. It's weakening. Alright? And so you can use these type of things to understand how to make money for yourself just simply by trading. So as soon as, let's go back to DXY. When we was here, look at the date. January 25th, 2025. Isn't that when Trump took office? Can't make this up. Alright? I had one on a podcast called Money Talks. And I told them this way back, I think it was like in November, because they had already announced, okay, Trump's going to take office. I said, well, that means when he takes office, go ahead and take a sell position in January. They were like, you sure? I said, I'm positive. Y'all heard it, folks? Some people took it, some people didn't. But the people that took it, very happy. Alright? So this is just simply knowing what's actually going on. Alright? I'm going to give y'all a couple of breaks, a quick break real quick. We're just going over that, but hopefully since y'all screenshot it, the strategy, I want y'all to go over that, but take a break, get some water, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about how to get started with us, and I'm going to show y'all some other stuff as well, some stock opportunities as well. Alright? So take a quick 10-minute break, stretch. But here's one thing that I want y'all to do specifically. Network with each other. Alright? So if there's somebody in this room whose number that you don't have, get it. Alright? And it's not just for business. I want us to get used to like checking on each other, making sure everybody's okay. Alright? Form a relationship. Study together. Encourage each other. Like that's where the true wealth is going to come. Alright? That's where true wealth is going to come. But I'm going to continue to work with you guys because y'all heard Ms. Carlene talk about I've been to 129 countries. And we're growing. And what I'm going to talk about when we get back. Hold on just a second, y'all. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. What I want everybody to do is I want y'all to pay attention when I come back because what we're doing in Jamaica is special. Right? Mrs. Denise, Miss Carlene, Victor Riley, they saw a vision. So she interviewed me, Denise interviewed me several times, and this happened a couple of years ago. I came down and she painted a vision. She does a lot of stuff with the youth, with the community. And so this Small Business Association of Jamaica, y'all seen them do work, and we're growing the economy here. But what's actually happening to us because this company has been hit with so many scams, there's trauma there. Can we agree with that, y'all? There's a lot of trauma there. And anytime trauma hits you in life, trauma leaves behind a belief system. And so some of the things that you actually need to get this company or this country economically growing is some of the very same things that's holding it back. Alright? And so what it's going to take is for people like us to start actually showing people that it's possible or actually create the environment. Because a lot of people are afraid to do the very thing it takes to help them. Alright? It's no different than when I was talking about when people try to date you, but they've been hurt so many times. I heard the phrase hurt people. Alright? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be part of the healing process. And that's going to start with us talking to each other. That's going to start with us having a mindset of helping people. So let's take a quick break. We're going to take 15 minutes this time. We'll be back at 12:45. 12:45.
What determines on the grass side, they're like, oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, because so what we're doing right now is what we call back testing. And the reason that we do back testing is because we obviously like the money flows right now. So we obviously can't see the future. But what we can do is when we're teaching, you have to look at the past. So a lot of times people say, wow, I gotta go back and look here. But no. I'm gonna apply this to the front as it starts developing. So like right now, we just swing low right here, right? Put it right there. So now, if I was trading live, I would wait for this to break. God just sit that wait for it to break. And get out from my end. So yeah, it's actually way more simple than the live is study. But sometimes when you're looking at the studies, you're like, oh man, all these counters, like these counters, even better, they're all in the day. Here's another thing that, like this EMA right here, okay? Going past EMA. I know that this is still technically in the upper trend. It's the 200 EMA. But all the EMA does is that's exponential moving average. Okay. So a 200 EMA means that it's taking the average of the last 200 counters. And that's the price point of it at that point. So right now, it's technically in the uptrend. You can look at that and see. Yeah. When it just beneath that is when it's in a selling trend. See when it started selling? Yeah, it's beneath right there. It's selling. The closer that it gets to it, you know that it's getting ready to reverse. Right there. Right. That's all it is. So knowing certain things that I talked about, remember I said price goes from swing high, swing low, fair value gap. We see a fair value gap right here. Fair value gap. So look what it came to. Fair value gap. Back up. We took our buy. It's very simple, man. Like when I started teaching, it ain't going.
Alright.
Yeah, don't worry.
Alright.
I got you. Yes, indeed. Everything gonna be alright.
Alright. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we never shop that many times.
Yeah.
What concern is about the attachment and for the question is that if automatically should I look at it between 5 minutes or should as we did it experience up to 11 minutes?
Right. So it depends on what strategy that you're doing. On that particular strategy, you're going to mark up your parameters in that 9:35 minute count. Right? So I'm just putting the parameters there, meaning that this is my zone. And then I drop down to the 1 minute for my entry.
So you have in your head in trading, let's say, you have to have your own personal time frame which you utilize.
Yeah.
Or is it that on the chart it will automatically give you an opportunity to say, well, that's
Right. So you're saying that because of your schedule may be different than somebody else, so the opportunities to trade?
no, I mean me trading, whether it's for an hour and a half
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Going on instead of looking at the paper.
I'm trying to hear you, but all I'm hearing is
Oh,
outside.
sorry.
But what church have to explain it, basically, if you're marking up a chart and you're in the trade, like how long?
How long do you hold it?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I couldn't hear you because your voice is light
Yeah.
and the motorcycle was just killing you.
I know.
So this is what I heard.
And now
So that's what I was hearing, so I'm sorry. So yes, remember when I put that green box there? That's gonna be what's called your TP. Your target price or take profit. So when it hits that, it's gonna automatically take you out the trade because that was your target area. So that's why I said set it and forget it. Because once you get in, you're gonna have your stop loss set and you're gonna have your TP set. Your TP is your target. So once you set that, you ain't gotta sit down and look at the chart. Because it's either going to hit the target area or it's going to hit the stop loss, one or the other. Now, if you're going to be watching, I also train people what to do on it. All right, I train people how to trail their stops, how to do all of that.
They only can trade per day.
Yeah, but you don't have to trade it for an hour and a half. You see, we did it in 11 minutes. Once I said it, I ain't even looking at it no more. I'm on to the next trade. I ain't looking at it no more. Like
So when I say the next trade, what would you do?
So you see all of these different pairs right here? So if I was inside of trades, let's say I could have marked up GBP, I could have gotten this trade. Once I marked up this trade, then I went on to Nas 100. Then I went on to oil. Then I went on to gold. Then I went on. Huh? Yeah, so that's the stop. But see, stocks and stuff, they still move like Forex. So these same strategies that you learn on Forex, you can use them on stocks. The only difference is you're buying the ownership. So with stocks, you can't say, hey, it's selling, so I'm gonna get it to sell. And no, if you bought it right there, it went down you some money. But you can only really just buy a share and hope that it's going up.
So you're really only waiting on the value of a share.
Right.
It's just whatever the value of that
So
share is.
all
If it goes up or down, that's all you got.
Right.
You're either
Per share.
yeah, so you're either in the plus or
Right.
yeah.
Right. So you really only got buys.
Right.
So what you're looking at is what they say buy the dip. You're waiting for it to come back down.
Buy the lowest price
Buy
possible.
the lowest price and hope it go up. Yeah. So we not gonna finish now. Like literally can finish. Like y'all come back. I'm finna wrap up. Yeah, we're not staying at 2 o'clock. Okay, so that's what I want you to do.
Recall the break. Recall the break.
Yeah.
Get back there.
This is gonna get ready to go right now. So I need to get ready. You got your phone on? Two minutes.
Fill that out. I'll be giving you the first call. Okay.
Alright, let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull this back up. So, I'm gonna just do a quick review real quick. Just to make sure everybody got this this portion. Alright? So in the currency pair, now I want you to use your notes here. Okay? And your notes. In the currency pair, which one is the left side that equals to 1? What's that called?
Base pair.
Base pair. Let's go. All right. What is the right side called? or quote pair. Okay? So the quote pair tells how many of what equals how much of the base pair. So in this case right here, it would take 144.908 of what to equal what of the base pair.
We'll take 144 of the quote pair to equal 1 of the base pair.
Yes. Okay? Outstanding. Great job. Great job. Okay? Perfect. Now, a pip in a regular Forex pair is how many decimals to the what of the decimal?
4.
All right, what about for a yen pair?
The second.
Second. Great job. Let's find out something. Y'all just write notes. Let's find out. Perfect. All right. So, and a lot size. Let me ask y'all a question. If a broker also tries to tell you that they're putting you on their educational platform, scale. Okay. Cool. All right. If the broker tells you after you've made the money that you need to pay them a fee so you can get your money out.
Scam.
Right. All right. Cool. All right. Now that we got that down. Okay, cool. What are the 4 levels of values?
Implementation.
Okay, number 2.
Unification.
Communication.
Imagination.
Okay. What scripture shows our 4 being used?
Genesis 11 verse 6.
Outstanding. Now I didn't put this on the screen. Who remembers the book in Habakkuk? What chapter was it? We talk about write down the vision.
Was it 4?
Nope. You know already. You can't answer.
Oh, it's chapter 2, verses 2 to 3.
Absolutely. Let's go. Love it. Okay. All right. Great job. All right. So what was given to you in Genesis that gave you the ability to have command over it? Dominion. Authority. Outstanding. All right. This one thing right here, it says it is the moment after speaking or writing. What is that called?
Future.
Your future. Okay? The moment before speaking or writing is called what? Past. Does the past exist?
No.
Okay? How does the past exist?
Trauma.
And trauma for what? When you speak it into your future. Outstanding. So, y'all ever had somebody that always kept bringing up the past?
Yes.
They couldn't move past it?
Yes.
You can't get past your past by speaking the past. She said me. That's accountability though. Alright? So you can't truly get past something. So y'all ever seen a relationship, one person messed up. I'm truly sorry. And then 5 years go by. I haven't forgotten. All right? Hard to move past it, right? But you're speaking it into the future. And the thing that we forget is we're not even the same person we were 5 years ago. So very important thing right here is if you truly want to move forward, you have to start speaking forward. That make sense? You have to start speaking forward. And if you're speaking forward, you have to have a destination. And that destination is your goals. You have to write those. Because once you write it down, it becomes your what? Future. Outstanding. Okay. A swing high has how many candles in it?
3.
Alright? Which one is the highest of the 3?
Middle.
One in the middle. What about the swing low?
Middle.
Okay. Outstanding. Okay. I love to hear it. What about a fair value gap? What
One
should
to-
not overlap?
One
One
does
and
not overlap
three.
3.
1 and 3. The space in the middle is called what?
Fair.
Fair value gap. Outstanding. Okay. Price in market, in the market, it likes to go to 3 places. Where does it go?
Behind single.
Value.
Okay, remove it.
So this is how you enter. So you see how it made this fair value gap? And so you see how the green counter came and traded into it, activated it, and then continued to go down. Right? Alright, so this manipulation displacement, we didn't get into that today. Alright. So, how many people think, number one, that they could be able to do this if somebody was actually working with them? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you another thing right here. This is called your trading plan. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about this trading plan real quick because this is something that a lot of gurus don't even talk about, which is crazy to me. Alright? Because how many people was looking at the lot sizes and was like, how do we know what lot size to pick? Right? So what I've done is I've made a trading plan for you. Okay? Me personally, me and my team, we like to use the high risk because even the high risk is small. Okay? So one of the questions that I always get, they're like, Gordon, how much money should I start off trading with? And I'm going to answer that question right now. However much money you can afford to lose. Alright? It doesn't mean that you're going to lose it. That means that if it's lost, it should not affect you to the point where we see you out on the street like trying to show your leg like, hey. Right? If you get to that point right there, then you spent a little bit too much money. So you don't want to wager that much money. If you wager an amount and you lost it, and now you got this big dude named Tiny knocking on your door, you spent too much money. Okay, don't do that. You shouldn't have to run an electricity cord or a stitching cord to your next door neighbor for electricity because you wagered too much money. All right, am I making sense, everybody?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you can afford to lose it. So if it does happen, you're okay. All right, so that means don't trade your building. All right, so I can put $40 right here, and I can still run the same thing. Okay, so here's other questions that people ask. Gordon, how long does it take for you to start making real money? Gordon, how much money did you have to put up in that so you would make this amount of money? Well, the trading plan is going to tell you how much money you need to put in there to get it, but does that guarantee that you're going to win the trade?
No.
No. That depends on you following the system. Okay? And there's going to be certain times of the day that's more advantageous to trade. I'm going to show you all of that stuff. Okay? There's no way that I can shoot. Can it does not even destroy my ego, but can everybody tell that there's a lot more that I can teach than I have in the time frame that we have? Right. Okay. So I'm just simply saying we don't have a time to give you years of knowledge. But I will say this. This is not a get rich overnight thing. But it is also not a get rich slow thing either. Because if you look at this chart, you'll notice that you could be a millionaire in less than a year. Am I making sense? So to answer the question, number one, I don't like answering the question how long it's going to take because it clicks for people at different times. Because you have people that have a different schedule. You have people that learn different. You see what I'm saying? Some people are visual. Some people are hands-on. All right? Some people are, hey, I need you to talk to me personally. I don't work well in groups. You know, everybody has different things. Right? Now, that being said, under my mentorship, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to baby you and make you comfortable. So if you're not comfortable learning in groups, you're still going to learn in a group, but you're also still going to get one-on-ones too. Okay, does that make sense? Because my whole goal is to grow you. What you're going to find is The reason that you can't do a lot of stuff is because you told yourself that you can't do it. Because this is my comfort level. So, just so they were clear, is you being comfortable part of the deal? No. So you're not paying for comfort. You're paying for results. And sometimes those results, most times those results require you to be uncomfortable. But when you get comfortable being uncomfortable is when you're really going to start seeing growth. And that's when you're going to start seeing the money change. Okay? So, let's talk about this part right here. How does this trading plan work? This trading plan shows you how to grow your trade account by 50% a week. Which is crazy to me because I was seeing people like super happy. They was like, I've been holding this stock for 5 years. I got a 5% increase. I was like, that's great. Right? We're doing 50% a week. Alright? Does not mean that we're not going to do stocks, because I'm going to show y'all some of that in a minute. But if you're holding for stocks, what about the short term? So I like to make money in all ways. Does that make sense? So I got my long-term money. I got my short-term money too. I got my fast-making money, and I got my slow money. But all the money coming home. Alright? And the reason it's coming home is because all the value is going out. Alright? So I'm going to show you ways to do things slowly, and I'm going to show you how to do it fast too. And it just depends on what you desire, because you're the one that's going to decide what is valuable to you. Okay? So, let's talk about it. Alright? This trading plan, let's say that I want to do, y'all see the lot sizes right here? So let's say that I started with $100. We're going to start with 100 because that's typically what most people start with, is $100 for their trading. Okay? But I'm also show you the $40 and $20. Now, when trading clicks for you, meaning that you're not over trading, you're not, just trading when you want to. You're sticking to the system. You're on schedule, and you're consistently making profits. Did I say that you're never going to take a loss? And if somebody tell you it's 100%, run, because that's another side of the scale. Nobody is 100%. Nobody. Even computers aren't 100%. Just to put that into perspective. And I haven't seen a computer that can outperform a human yet. They may be faster. Like, how many people seen ChatGPT?
Yeah.
ChatGPT can do everything except lead.
Yeah.
It can do everything but lead people. That's all it is. And ChatGPT will tell you that. So you know what? You're a sentient being, but the only thing I can do is get faster. But how many people understand that if you keep talking on the same chat with GPT, it starts running out of space?
Yeah.
Have you? How many years of knowledge y'all got up here? You ain't ran out of it yet.
But ChatGPT, our perspective are the same way.
Yeah.
People opinion, they
Yeah.
they never take on good money.
Right. So, we got $100, right? Now what's 50% of 100? $50, right? So at the end of the week balance, what should it be? 150. Right. Okay? $150. Now, you're going to take 10% of that and pay yourself. Now, you can take the entire $150 out because your money, we don't have access. This is a spreadsheet. You think a spreadsheet got access to your bank account, I don't know what to tell you. This is a spreadsheet telling you hypothetically, this is what you need to do to grow. And the reason it's doing 10% because the more money you leave in your account, the higher your lot size. The higher the lot size, the more money you can make. Does that make sense? So, $15 from 150, that's $135, right? So that means the next week you're going to start off with what? 135. So what do? 135. Enter. How many people saw that the lot size changed? Our daily goal is now $16.88. So even if you're not good at counting pips, you can look at your trading account and be like, okay, I'm up $16.88. I'm done with my trading for today. That makes sense, everybody? Okay, so even if you don't know how to do that. So at the end of the week, you should have what? $202 of what? And 50 cents. Right? What's 10% of that? $20.25. So that means $20.25 minus 250 is how much? 182.25. What are we gonna do right here? Right? 182.25. Enter. What's our lot size? 0.09. 90 cents per pip. Yikes. Alright? So now what's our daily goal? $22.78. Alright, so we know how to use this now. So let's go back to $100. Now, when trading clicks for you, when you start to consistently do this, and you're comfortable enough to say, look, when I hit my weekly goal, I'm done trading for the week. Alright? A lot of people say that they can do that. But y'all ever played cards before? You're like, man, I'm on a roll. Right? Next! Right? We do the same thing with trading. We do the same thing with trading. So I'll hit my 150, and I begin to everybody else saying, man, gold's selling right now. What do you think most people want to do? I'm going to get in that too. Right? And they start over trading. Guess what? You may win. But what happens more times often than not? They trade it right back. That is called gambling. That's not trading. Alright? Make your money and sit down. Okay? Use that time to read a book, grow your company, whatever it is that you got on your goal list, work towards that. But when you hit your weekly goal, sit down. That's going to be one of the hardest things for everybody. Alright? One of the hardest things.
Hold on.
Now, let's do this real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Typically, it takes 4 to 6 months. How much?
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months when you start making enough money to where you start telling your job, yeah, I'm straight on y'all. Alright, so let me show you what that looks like. So remember I said this column right here, withdrawal, this is your 10% each week, right? Total withdrawal is your year to date. So let's say we started with $100. Month number 4 would be week 16, right? Because it's 4 weeks in a month, so 4 times 4 is 16, right? So week 16, your 10% that you took out was $1,352.38. For the year, you brought home $5,173.45. And you still have another $12,171.39 sitting in your trade account. 4 months in. At that point, was that $100 investment in yourself worth it?
Yes.
Making sense, y'all? Alright, cool. Now, you may say, well, Gordon, that's cute now, but $1,300 for the week to click a button, I need more than that. I ain't mad at it. Follow the trading plan. Now we're going to go to month number 6. Isn't that what we said? Month number 6. That would be week 24, right? For the week, your 10%, $14,919.97 for the week. You brought home $57,505.60, and you have another $134,279.73 sitting in your trade account. Just one last time. What's that $100 investment in yourself worth it, y'all? Don't make sense. So, did it take a full year to even do that? So, your starting point is going to come off of whenever you decide to be serious about your studies. When you start going into your classes, learning these things, it becomes simplistic because it's repetition. So you want to get in your classes and learn these things, all right? So what I mean by learn, I'm going to show y'all this real quick. I'm going to log into mine so y'all can see exactly what I'm about to talk about, all right? So we can see this is the IG's platform, right? Because this is who we're with, all right? Let's put this into perspective. I'm signing in. If we go over to the member side, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We can go to the education. Now y'all see that I'm an educator on that platform. Okay, matter of fact, I teach tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if I go to the education, we have a university, money pro, market pro, all of that, right? So let's go take a look at market pro. Do y'all notice that this pops up? IGS is not a broker. Do y'all see that it's making me leave the platform? Alright, this is how you can tell the difference between a literal, legitimate company here. So now it takes me here, look at that. Trading Essentials, boom. I can just go here and now I can start clicking on these videos and it breaks down every single thing that it is to know. Now let me show y'all something. How long is this video right here? 1 minute and 3 seconds. Anybody got a minute and 3 seconds of their day? All right. Boom.
Forex, short for foreign exchange, is a
Simple,
decentralized global.
Anybody can do that. So if you can start going through your videos, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You can start making money. Here's the other thing, your education. You have the university. All right? So whether you're going to do Forex, binary options, crypto, stock, even the Alpha Academy, all of those things, you're going to learn risk management practices, traders mindset. You're going to have multiple different educators teaching you the same thing. You know why? Because people learn different. Does that make sense? So now you're going to go down and learn all the different ways that they can teach the same thing. We have over 1,500 videos that can help you. All right? You have to watch all of them. No. But watching those videos helps you on your own time. Also, you're going to have your live training, right? Now let's say, for instance, we're right here, Mid City's live trainings right here. Boom. Okay? Guess what? They can all right, so there's people commenting on these right here. Alright? So if we go here, guess what? You can go and click on all of these sessions. I can just click watch session. And guess what? I can hit play and I can go ahead and watch every session that I want to right now. Right?
Really touch basics on it because
So this is me going over teaching everything, and you'll see me breaking down the fair value gap strategy. So I'm just clicking through all of these and showing. I'm even showing you how to use Fibonacci. So ladies and gentlemen, when I say that there's a lot that we can teach you, there's a lot. Now, let's talk about how to get started with that, okay? So, hopefully everybody can see this. The name of our platform is iGenius. Let's break this down, ladies and gentlemen. The reason that we're so pivotal and a lot of people making it is because most people weren't taught how to actually grow money. Most people were taught how to survive, not thrive. You were taught how to pay bills and work. So isn't that living paycheck to paycheck? Pay my bills, and then whatever's left over, I try to enjoy it. But I gotta make sure I keep enough money so I can pay bills next month. Well, that's living paycheck to paycheck. Okay? But most people didn't tell you how to multiply it. Right? So that's why your savings account is lower than you expected, and you're constantly worried about making more money. Alright? What we do is we show you how to multiply. So some of those things that you just saw right there, we're going to help you with the skills you need to solve your money problem. Instead of the old ideas, we're not replacing the old-fashioned ideas, but we're giving you new tools on top of it. So that means we're not telling you don't pay your bills. Pay them. But with the money that you have left over, let's show you how to multiply. With the debt that you have, let's show you how to leverage it. Does that make sense? All right? So, Albert Einstein said this: we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created. And so a lot of us want to take the same thinking that we had that got us in this situation and think that we're going to think our way out of it using the same line of thinking. No, you have to become somebody different, and that starts with you thinking different. And the best way to do that is to put yourself around a group of people that's thinking different. Does that mean that they have to be in person? No, they can actually be a virtual community. There's people that you can talk to as well, but it exposes you to things. All right. Anybody ever read a book that elevated them?
Yes.
Did you know the author personally?
No.
No. But you was able to read that book, and it took you to another level. All right. So who is iGenius? We are a publicly traded company. We're backed by the United States government. We're backed by the FTC and the SEC. Okay. So that means simply we are transparent. That means that you can pull us up online. All right. Matter of fact, there's our code. Right there, INVU. You can even put us up on TradingView. Matter of fact, let's go to TradingView real quick. Isn't that INVU right there? That's InvestView. It's our parent company, publicly traded company. This is our stock. Now I will show y'all this real quick because how many people notice that if the market goes to one place, it returns to it, right? So we can see that right now our stock is approaching the 2 penny era. So this is the penny stock era, right? InvestView is a technology company. Just to put that into perspective. Are we in the age of technology, y'all?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, NVIDIA, which uses InvestView, and NVIDIA just hit $4 trillion. This is the first time this ever happened in history. Guess what NVIDIA does? Technology and AI. Right? So that means that the American dollar is about to head up. Because guess what NVIDIA is? America. Guess what a lot of the money is pouring into? NVIDIA. It's making sense. So watch this. So now InvestView is getting ready to release a whole bunch of products. What do y'all think is going to happen to the stock? And you already know it because it's already making patterns. Y'all see we already marked it up. It's already making patterns for it to go up. Y'all see we got it way down here. Y'all see that? Y'all see where I had marked this at? This is way back in May when I told the team, look, it's going to come down into this rejection block. I know I haven't won a war rejection block, so we're going to have in the cabinet. But a rejection block, and I said it's going to head up. What do we see happen? Right? Now this is on the 5 minute. Okay? I can put this on an hour though. Okay? Now watch this. Where a market has gone, it tends to repeat. So y'all see me marking this up right here. This is what I marked it up on. Okay? So let me put this in layman's terms. Right now, the stock of this company is 1 penny. I want y'all to write this down and follow me, right? Now, it costs 1 American penny, 1 cent. How many shares of it would you get if you spent $1? 100 shares, right? Now, when they release, they are going to be on the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ requires that this stock sells $4 per share. So imagine if you got 100 shares at a penny per share, that means that each one of those pennies turn into $4. So $1 just turned into $400. Did everybody see that? But remember what the market's been in return. Now, before it even partnered with the United States government and InvestView, it had went here. Let me break this down to you guys real quick. Does everybody see it? $2,919.34 per share is where it's returning to. And it's going to go past that. So now I want you to think about each one of those pennies turning into $2,914.34.
But what platform do you buy it on? Because it's not on NASDAQ, it's not on...
Well, NASDAQ is the actual...
Yeah, it's not on NASDAQ, it's on NYSE?
No, that's on your broker. So you purchase it on your broker. And so Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken...
No, let me use interactive data. It wouldn't be you can't purchase that.
Right, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what we're doing right now with Ms. Kirby.
She
had interactive broker that she was trying to purchase it.
You can't purchase on
You can't
internet.
purchase on that, no.
Right.
So for you guys, what I have done, because again, I'm just coming down to Jamaica. So I talked to Christian Crabtree, who's the vice president of the company. And so what he's doing is trying to find a broker where you guys can actually purchase it. So y'all will have that soon. Because Jamaica is a little different.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I have a stockbroker which is JMB.
Nope.
Do I need to have a different?
No, JMB doesn't do this. U.S. stocks have to be on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Right.
JMB doesn't do overseas stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can do Mayberry, but it ain't worth it. Their fee is $150 US to do the trade.
So what we're working on now for Jamaica is finding a broker that will actually allow you guys to do it, or find a way to what do you call it, work around. So that's what we're working
It's
on.
not Robinhood?
So Robinhood is a trading platform. It's kind of like trading view. I can trade on it, but it's not the broker. I have to attach the broker to it.
Okay.
So hopefully everybody got that, but that's where it's going. So our company, our headquarters is in Utah, but we have another corporate office in Pennsylvania. We have another corporate office in Europe. We are now in 129 countries. Okay? We're publicly traded, global business. All right? Here's the other thing right here. Now this number has went up. Y'all see it's 85% of the students are customers only. So y'all know how y'all have people say, hey, well they signed me up and tried to make me recruit. I've seen that before. All right. Over here, 85% are customers only, meaning that they don't do anything but trade. That makes sense? So that means only 15% of the people are actually building. Since we've made this, that number has went up. 93% of the people are customers only. You only have 7% of the people that's actually building. Alright? So, that number one, that tells you that there's a good product. But the retention rate is there. And customers are there. And they're making money just using the products. But for the people that want to build it, because we're going to give you an opportunity to do that too, we not only show you how to do it, we give you tools to do it, and you get paid way more. Alright? So we're going to talk about that too. So, whether you want to learn crypto, stocks, Forex, you name it, we have all of those available for you so we can educate you on it. So we saw Money Pro, you saw Learn Live, Market Pro. What these do is they show you different areas of money. So on Money Pro, it shows you how to budget your money. It also shows you how to protect your money, how to improve your financial habits. All of that is on Money Pro. Okay? Market Pro is going to show you about the crypto markets, Forex, all of that, stock. All of those things are going to be on the Market Pro. University is going to be your educational videos to show you the intricacies of each one. And then the live is where you're getting on live feeds, and y'all can ask questions live. So if we trade live in front of you, you can take those same trades that we're doing, but at the same time, if you have questions while we're doing that, say, okay, this is the reason why we're taking the trade here. This is how we analyze it. So it helps if we're teaching you while we're actually trading. Does that make sense? Because you're able to see it being done. Alright? So this is where Learn Live is. And then immediately after that session is done, it's recorded automatically. So if you watch that video with us, or you even missed the class because you had to work, you can come back and watch the recording because it's everything on here is recorded. Okay? And another reason why it's recorded, how many people heard that we were backed by the SEC and the FTC? So transparency, right? So anytime that we call out signals, we have to report it to the government before it even gets to you. You run it through. So that means that if we're calling trades for you to copy and paste, and we're not winning enough, then the government be like, yeah, y'all got to get rid of him because he don't know what he's doing, and he's putting people's money at risk. So when we start dropping below like 62% wins and all of that, you're not going to see that educator there. He's the only way out to do it. Okay? So that way you keep the people honest and they're only putting qualified people in front of you. Okay? Now, trading involves risk. I think we all have harbored that fact. Now you're going to get research alerts on your phone. So like when you're at work and you can't afford to like look at a chart and trade, y'all see these on the screen, you're able to get alerts sent to your phone. So while you're doing whatever at work, you get an alert that says, hey look, gold is selling. I can now, boom, hop into that trade and take it. Hey, crypto, these are the returns from last month. You can get the trade alerts. It's telling you, hey, this is the one to get in. It's the order type. You're getting the market execution. All right? At the close at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to buy. So it's literally telling you, all right, when are you going to close? You're going to close on market close. 50% allocation only. It's telling you everything that you need to do. If that language sounds foreign to you, don't worry because the video for the back office explains all of it. So now you know how to copy and paste. Okay? Now you'll notice you have the Alpha Trader. On this Alpha Trader right here, ladies and gentlemen, that incorporates the best of all the technology on our company. So whether you're doing futures and commodities, all of that stuff, we have different systems that help you out. Now also we have partnerships. Alright? This is the bringing the efforts of everybody together thing. So we have something called Smart Finance. Now if you add Smart Finance, you'll get more of these things, but you're going to get some of them automatically anyway. Now Save Pro is part of Smart Finance. So anybody like to save money on groceries, save money on travel, save money on gas, save money on clothes, office supplies, Save Pro does that. It gives you discounts on theme parks. It gives you discounts on everything. So love this. This is like a whole walking coupon digital system that you can go no matter where in the world. There's savings everywhere in the world. All right, Endotech, Debt Pro, even HMA. So if you're able to find different insurance for health, vision, all of that stuff is there. Biz Finance, Coin Rule. These are all things that give you, like Coin Rule can actually take technology and trade for you. So how many people got a job and you're like, man, I don't even know if I can take a trade? Well, Coin Rule has C-Force on it. So now you can put money in there and they can trade your crypto for you. Or you may have discovered a strategy yourself. You can program it to follow that strategy and it'll trade it for you. Alright? Absolutely crazy. Alright? You even have attorneys. So this BA right here is attorneys. We have some people right now that was getting kicked out of their homes. Guess what? You got attorneys on call that'll take care of that for you. You got pulled over, you got a traffic ticket. You got attorneys on deck that'll take care of that for you. You don't have to show up, let your attorney do it. So all of these things come with these packages. So let's talk about what the C-Force strategy is. Remember we was talking about AI technology. C-Force crypto strategy that's only available to who? iGenius members. So we had people that was like, I'm just going to C-Force such and such, right? They gave them an astronomical price. And they still didn't get the strategy because it's only for iGenius members. Alright? But again, it's now trading for you. So you put the money in, it does it for you. Alright? You're going to get military grade security and encryption. So you ain't got to worry about people hacking your account, taking your money. It's encrypted and it has security that's the next level. Alright? Multifaceted proprietary trade strategy. It's securely integrated with top tier exchanges. Okay? So, just to give you an example of that, watch this. We're going to go back to, remember when we went here? I want y'all to take a look right here if I go to the main page. We have certain things here that you can use. Alright, so these are alerts we can get to those chats. But watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Trading tools. So we have something called Scan Pro. So when I click Scan Pro, y'all see this Maven and TI. These are two different types of strategies here. I can literally go to any I can go to gold or whatever, right? I'm gonna take this EMA off. Now watch this. I can add my indicators. Y'all see invite only. That's Maven follow. I can add that on there. Guess what? Do y'all see how it's telling me to get in on a trade? When to get in, where to get in? It told me to buy right here. Was it correct? Mm-hmm. Alright, let's put that in perspective. It's there. Okay, so all of these things you can actually use just simply by having this here. The Titan, you can add Titan on as well, but it has videos and it shows you how to use Titan. Okay? Shows you how to do it all. Alright? So hopefully everybody got that. Okay? Alright? Hopefully everybody got those things here. Alright? So I think I have to take this one off. And I put Titan on and just add it to the screen. So it's literally telling you how to use it. Now, these right here, there's actual videos showing you how to use those. Alright? So there go over how to use the strategy. So all of these things that you're seeing, you have the ability to use. Okay? Cool. Hopefully everybody is still following along here. Alright, so how to get started? You have three main packages. One is the select, one is premium, one is elite. Now I want to break this down to you how this works. Okay?